What started out as a WhatsApp group of friends spawned into a forum for debating and rating the films they saw. Then, one of them had an idea. Instead of typing their opinions, why not record them on a podcast? No Trailer Productions proudly presents Those Movie Review Guys. This podcast may contain spoilers.
You talking to me?
I will find you and I will kill you.
To infinity and beyond.
I am your father.
James Bond.
Here's Johnny.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And here we go.
Hello and welcome to the show. We are Those Movie Review Guys, four guys from London who love nothing more than to watch, discuss and review movies. On every show we will look at a selection of titles, give our thoughts and feelings towards each one and then conclude each review with the coveted #TMRG star rating. As always, I'm joined by the fabulous
Kyle.
Omari.
Giles. Boys, first things first, first show of the decade.
I'm not too happy about the clapping
Why?
because it's been too long.
I know. It's true. It's been about how long now?
It's been a long
It's
time.
been about
month and a half.
2 or 3 months. It's
It's like a summer break instead of a winter break.
The inbox was heating
I
up.
think instead
the
of clapping,
tweets.
certain man should get slapped
Oh, instead of a clap.
instead of a clap.
But why the violence? We're
It's
what?
not violent.
2 seconds into the show and already.
Yeah,
Well, I ain't taking any slaps.
You're first in line. You're first in line.
That's why I've just gone, I'm out and just run to the back. But we're here. And I think it doesn't really make sense to talk about what the highlight of the week or month or however long it's been. I think a nice way to kick things off as we go into a new year, a new run of shows. What are you boys most looking forward to in the foreseeable future? I'm going to start to the right. Giles,
6 more wins.
elaborate for the listeners who may or may not know exactly what you're talking about.
If you've been tuning in previously, you would remember that I'm a Liverpool fan, and dare I say it, but I'll tell you what I can say. We're 22 points clear of the current champions, Man City. So yeah, we was doing the maths, me and the other Liverpool fans in the Liverpool fan universe. And yeah, 6 more wins from I think it's 13 games secures us a Premiership title. And boy, are you going to hear about it?
When you say you just mean Elliot and Kyle.
Yeah, it's Carl especially.
There's nothing to say.
There's loads to say. You forget about the conversation in Dubai. I love the way you got such a... He remembers absolutely everything else. Carl will tell me what the 5th syllable of the second word I said on the first ever of the pilot of the podcast, but he won't remember the conversation we blatantly had.
But you just have to remember, before the season even started, I said, I'm not even watching football.
No, but he has maintained that from the
I
start.
haven't watched
No. It doesn't work like that. You can't do that. You can't do that.
That's what I've done.
You can't do that.
I've removed myself from the
can't
situation.
do that. Because you were the first to chat about 30 years. You ain't won it in 30 years. But I didn't tap out. I was there. In the trenches, on the front line.
But I'm saying I can't even
do that.
talk about football.
Anyways,
I don't know
as I said, I'm
about it.
going to end as I started. 6 more wins. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Fair enough, G. Fair enough. Amari, my good man. First show of the year. What are you looking forward to in terms of anything?
Staying out of trouble.
But I feel like you've already said that. I feel like you said that towards the end
and then
of
got
last
himself
year.
in trouble, and then he's going to talk about staying out of trouble.
No, in a new way.
Elaborate.
See, I now got this method where...
Method.
I breathe.
Well, funny that I do the same thing.
But,
That's a method.
Yeah. Listen.
Cool.
With slow, deep breaths for 10 seconds. And then I decide if I want to say or do the thing that I know is going to get me in trouble.
Okay.
And then if I still want to do the action, then to hell with it.
You know what?
So hold on, before we even clap that, no, I'm not clapping that.
I'm not clapping that.
All it sounds like he's done is he's thinking for 10 seconds.
Exactly.
But that's 10
where
seconds
is this
more than he
Marvel?
was. That's
Where-
10 seconds more than he was last year.
That's not enough.
Yeah,
not
but
enough.
what?
It's a start.
What, the thinking for 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Well, it's better than me not thinking and just doing it.
Which is
10
fair
seconds
enough.
not
No,
enough.
10
but
seconds is
that's
not
sort of
This
the
is the
given though.
That's
method
not
of,
enough to-
method of progression.
Count to 10.
I don't
that's
even
how
give
it
the
normally
kids
goes.
in school. I'll give them longer than 10 seconds. 10 seconds isn't.
Yeah, but any
that's-
longer
but
than
when-
that, and the conversation's gonna fall apart. Because the person's gonna think you've gone mute.
Additionally, you already got the instinct of what you first wanted to do. So I'm just trying to slow down and say,
You're clapping
do I
on your
have
own.
a-
I'm not
I'm
clapping.
clapping.
I'm
for
not
that.
clapping.
I'm clapping.
I'm
for it.
clapping
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
Well,
10
for the
seconds.
listeners, if you could see this, there's only 2 of them clapping.
And if I can just say, as long as he implements that rule to the cast with some of his responses to the reviews, that will definitely
You
come
know
into
that ain't
play. in
gonna
the
happen,
book.
Okay,
but yeah.
that's not gonna happen. But,
Yeah, exactly.
but I've already thought about it before I make a
Hence the reason
statement.
why I never clapped.
What do you mean? I think about what I'm gonna say.
Kyle, what are you looking forward to?
I want to complete the Tough Mudder this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
training towards that. I need to book that next week, but yeah, that's what I'm training towards.
Interesting. Interesting. What made you want to do that?
I've always liked, what was it, Krypton Factor?
Lovely show.
Classic show. I've always
Gordon
loved
Burns.
that. Yes, exactly. And I thought, do you know what? I need to lose weight. I'm at my heaviest right now. So that will be something to motivate me to
All
get
right,
there.
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I couldn't listen. I know this guy very well when it comes to training and stuff. So from when he's saying that, so how long? When is Tough Mudder? Summer,
September, isn't it?
Yes. I need to check the dates, but I think it's August, September, yeah.
right? So now,
So you doing it? Because I know a few people that have done it. Are you doing it as like your office are doing it, or are you doing
Nah,
it on your own?
Just
or?
solo, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Anyone who is on it, just hit me up.
Yeah, that might be a plan.
Yeah.
so we will do our TMRG duty, and now from every show, we'll give you a week's grace, but from every show, it's gonna be ding ding weigh-ins. We're gonna be
Yeah,
getting
I've been
weigh-ins
weighing
from you.
myself every week anyway.
Yeah, you can weigh yourself, but we want pictures, we want proof, mate.
Don't worry,
We're
don't
going to get
worry.
onto you for that.
I'm on it.
Okay. In terms of what I'm looking forward to, after our meeting the other day, after some discussions, after some input, I'm looking forward to see where we go with the cast. So for the listeners, we've had a few ideas of ways to improve. It's always good to reflect and see what works, what doesn't work, and what we can do to change things up. So make sure you keep your ears peeled and eyes peeled across the social media, because I think starting from the next episode, we're going to do things a little bit differently, but I think it's going to work and it's going to be interesting to see where we go from there. So that's what I'm looking forward to anyway. And with that, actually, there's a lot of films coming out which I'm very excited about. Some of which were on this list, which we're going to get into now. And I'm interested to see where we go, as always. But this one, Amari, before we go any further, I just want to make one thing clear. Was it you that said the films on today's list, you were the advocate for the selections?
I was the advocate, correct.
Only because we hadn't done our normal way of voting.
Yeah,
and-
there's a lost episode.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. So
Are we going to talk about the lost episode?
do you want to talk about the lost episode?
I'm not going to talk about it by myself.
You can do.
But you say, I feel like it would be like basically 2 lost episodes, because there was one that was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
lined
yeah,
up,
you're right.
and then
Yeah,
one
you're
that
right.
was supposed to be end
There's
of
2
year.
lost episodes.
So it's basically 2 lost episodes.
Yeah, because there's the continuation and there's the end of year episode. Yeah, you're right.
And then it's Oscars in a few weeks.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll brush that to the side.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
I'm sure it'll be referenced all the time.
the 3 films for today are going to be Bad Boys for Life, Just Mercy, and Queen and Slim. So make sure you get in touch with us again across all social medias. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook on TMRG Podcast. And do make sure you subscribe across all major streaming platforms to get the cast automatically to your device. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, absolutely everything. Film number 1, Bad Boys for Life, released on January the 17th, 2020, directed by Adil and Bilal. We had Will Smith as Detective Mike Lowry, Martin Lawrence as Detective Marcus Burnett, Jacob Scipio as Armando Arataz, and Vanessa Hudgens as Kelly. The bad boys Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett are back together for one last ride in the highly anticipated Bad Boys for Life.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Hey!
I'm going to start to the right. Giles, were you entertained?
No.
Amari, were you entertained?
Yes.
Kyle, were you entertained?
No.
So it's 3-on-1 in today's first.
I feel like we've been down this road.
Unfortunately, I wasn't
That
entertained.
was a tentative yes, but it was
No.
more of a- No, I'm
We've
not,
done
no,
it.
No, no.
It's
I said
2020.
Yes, I said yes, though, innit?
Right, so don't mention the tentativeness.
Yeah, but I'm allowed to speak about why I'm saying tentative.
But with
innit?
no.
But yes.
Either you were entertained or you weren't.
Tentatively, yes.
No, but that
Okay,
means we have to take it as a yes.
Yeah, I did
We
say
take
it,
it as a
and I
yes.
said it's
But
a
then he
yes.
adds in the little.
Yeah, but
He
I
can
said
add
it's
in
a
what he
yes.
wants,
I
but
said
the
it's a
bottom
yes.
line is
Exactly.
he was
It's a
entertained.
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna before I'm gonna say why it's a tentative. I'm gonna explain my thought processes behind it.
Go for it.
I watched Star Wars as a kid, and I enjoyed episode.
Wait, we're reviewing Bad Boys then, mate.
Let me get to there. I enjoyed episode 4, 5, and 6. And when I saw them do a remake of number 7 and 8, I thought it was a woeful nonsense, whatever. But I wanted to watch number 9 so I could actually fulfill the whole circle. That's part of the reason why I wanted to watch Bad Boys, because I had to fulfill part of my childhood and me being an adult now.
Most of us did, I feel, as well.
Right. But when I was watching Star Wars 9, I kept on thinking, this is not actually a good film, but I'm being entertained by parts of it that keep on throwing back and make you remind of my 4, 5, and 6 from Star Wars.
It's easy to be entertained by a shit film. It's
This is
easy to
true.
be entertained by a shit film.
Are you forgetting what his favourite film is?
No. It's not a shit film, though. So I don't know why you're talking. Just stop right there.
Anyway, like we said, it's easy to be entertained.
By a shit film.
Thank you.
Anyway, so I'm watching Bad Boys for Life. And the opening scene, they're still playing with the car. It seems like the same car just got an upgrade. And I was like, oh, we're doing this again. And then I was thinking we're doing throwbacks, but throw forwards to a current age. And I was like,
Let me throw a question around the table. Giles, did you expect anything less or anything more than what you received in Bad Boys for Life?
No.
Amari,
no.
Kyle.
Well, I enjoyed the first 2 Bad Boys, so
Yeah.
I guess I was, but my expectations were not high for this one.
No,
so
but
They weren't high, but they were higher than what it.
yeah,
Okay.
just about, yeah.
Okay. Would you agree with that, Amari?
What? It was better than...
That what the film was
It wasn't
below.
better than anything.
Yeah, it was below.
But you say that, but I don't think it actually was. It was just an updated version of what they did before.
And I'm very glad you say that.
But that's my opinion of it, which
Yeah,
is why I said
But I guess
I was still entertained tentatively by it, because I still thought there was some stupid moments in there and some poor other script maneuvers going on. Like even seeing DJ Khaled, I just listen.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
The Butcher.
Do you know what? I'm going to make a point, yeah, because this became very apparent to me watching this film. I feel that if you were raised in a certain era or you came up in a certain time and watched certain films, I think we're at a time now in film where we're kind of hitting the end of the sort of 90s blow up into the early 2000s blow up, and then special effects and everything's taken another shift. Because watching this, to me, it was very, very clear to see they were trying to recreate that action 90s/2000 era.
It's 17 years too late.
Yeah. And
but
I
it
feel,
was done even poorly then.
Exactly.
and I feel that people who may be in their early 20s, so when we would have watched the originals,
Yeah.
We was kids though.
watching this,
Speak for yourself.
I asked we're all children. I asked myself, would someone like 20, 21 to be entertained by this in today's
Probably
with the
they
bar?
would, but the joke
I don't
is-
know.
no,
I
no,
don't
listen,
know.
listen.
I don't know.
I could tell
I
you,
don't know.
in my cinema experience, people were dying with laughter.
See?
Laughter.
See? I told you.
Dying with
I
laughter.
told you.
And
No, I'm
I-
surprised.
I told you. No, I'm not. No, I'm
surprised.
not. I'm not. Because listen, you've got to understand where we're at as like a planet. A planet. Where we're at as a planet that hasn't
Yeah.
been snapped by Thanos and
Yeah,
all the rest.
yeah.
You got to understand where we're at. These stupidest things make people laugh. Like the things that are like,
yeah.
it's not even.
Yeah.
This isn't even entertainment.
Yeah.
But people will still be
People,
like,
trust me.
Let me throw another question around the table. I think you already told me the answer, but I need to know again for the sake of the cast as well. Did you laugh at any point in this film? And if so, what part?
I think I laughed once.
Do you know what part it was?
It was when they did the close up of the guy's of Martin Lawrence's face when he was poking the guy's face.
Okay.
That was about it.
Amari, did you laugh?
Oh yeah, I found some parts funny.
You did?
But I found it. It's because I found the story so predictable. It was unrealistic. It's predictable nature.
Kyle,
Yeah, there were a few funny moments, yeah.
what were some of your funny moments?
One of them was when he was talking about, when he found out about the witch, about the woman.
He kept calling her witch throughout the whole.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a
Like,
scene
why
with
would you F,
Don't even get me started.
On the plane. Would you fuck a witch?
Yeah, that scene on the plane. That was probably the funniest thing for me in the film.
Listen. I'm gonna just say this once, yeah, and it saddens me to say, but Martin Lawrence is no longer funny.
No.
And he's actually annoying.
Yeah.
He was annoying me.
Well, Martin Lawrence looks like he's eating Martin Lawrence. Let's just put that out there.
Bro, I was surprised. Like, not to say that he should be getting into shape for the role or anything.
No, but even that scene.
The rudeness is that he was out of shape for the filming, but when he went for the flipping promo tour, he looked more like old Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, because people must have killed. Because who was it that sent the picture of him in the group? So I'm imagining on social media, people was killing him when they saw that promo.
Even that scene,
So
when they're in Miami and he challenges my man Will to the Mike Lowry to the race.
Yeah,
and you're like, really? What are you doing?
This was.
What are you doing?
I was very, very, very like. Okay, look. My second point was.
I didn't even write no notes.
Martin Lawrence couldn't be bothered to get in shape. But who's to blame? It's either him or Will Smith. Because
we know who to blame.
Okay, but then there's another conversation to be had that we're going to get into. There's another conversation that we're going to have that's going to be getting into now. Will Smith again. Action roles. He's done.
He doesn't think he's done. He doesn't.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him in an action film again. He's just hit me with two poor films. This Gemini Man.
Yeah.
I think he needs to understand now.
The joke was the irony of Bad Boys for Life was that there was like a Gemini Man almost subplot going on with this.
That's very true.
Bullshit.
That's very true.
Insertion of you've had this backstory. Like nobody knew.
But how 90s is that? How 2000 era is that? That's what I'm saying. When it happened, that kind of was like, okay, that's where you're taking this. But again, it was very predictable. Like, not that, I mean, look, watching this as well, I couldn't help but compare this to a film out of the Fast and Furious franchise. It was that kind of, just less money. That's literally it, just less money. Yeah. And like, even that, I was like, okay, we kind of saw that coming. But everything about this, I just thought, I don't understand how they're like, me personally, you're hanging on to old used tired methods of making an action film, but in today's world I just thought it just felt so out of place, very, very out of place,
considering when you look at the action films that come out. I mean,
this is what I'm saying.
So for example, if you look back to during our hiatus when Lost episode should have been recorded. we all watched the film. I think most of us watched the film, Six Underground. Now, I personally, you liked it.
That was a Michael Bay.
You liked it. Now,
I said it was entertaining.
I've got something for you, man. I've got something for you.
You liked it. I know you didn't like it. I didn't like it either. However, it stuck to what it was supposed to be. It was consistent with what it was supposed to be. It didn't try to be anything else.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if you look at, I don't know. What was this film trying to? What was the? What
so
was
can
the?
I just?
Why
can I just,
was?
Can I just put a nugget in?
Hold on. I've asked this about. I can't remember. Was it Godzilla? Why was it made? This goes into my category
because you know why it was made.
No, but why? Well, we know it's greed, innit?
No, because Will Smith wanted to get paid again.
How? But why though?
Yeah. It's too much. It was too much. Like, okay, so. On the topic of Michael Bay, because I didn't actually realise, but I thought he was the one who directed. It was directed by some newcomers, apparently.
Yeah, but done in the same style.
Yeah, but it made something else that's very similar to this film. Because I was very confused about who they were, so I was like, let me see the old work. And there was one film that popped up there. I was like, I don't remember it, but it was one film. I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing these kind of action scenes before. They've done it already, so you shouldn't be surprised.
Well, look, upon doing some background information. Michael Bay initially was going to be attached to this. Yeah. Now listen to this. In June 2008, Michael Bay, director of the first two Bad Boy films, stated that he might direct Bad Boys 3, but that the greatest obstacle in the potential sequel would be the cost, as he and Will Smith demand some of the highest salaries in the film industry. After reading that, and then seeing this film, this is what I'm saying. I don't want to see Will Smith in an action film again. And as far from Michael Bay, I know what to expect from him, but that mentality, to me, you're talking about continuing a sequence of films, but you're saying you're not even like, it's not even like you're doing it for the film. The only thing you're saying is going to be an issue is your cost. Like, to me,
But that was 10 years ago. He might have changed.
I don't think so. Because if you look at his body of work, he clearly, and his place in Hollywood, he clearly hasn't.
No.
That to me seems very much in tune with the result of the film, anyway.
I've just looked up these two. Are they brothers? Yeah.
No, they're not even brothers.
They're not.
No.
Okay, I've just looked up their previous credits, and I don't know if any of you have watched this. You know, I watch a lot of TV shows as well. But Snowfall, they directed the first 2 episodes of Now, Snowfall is one of the best shows that's been on in the last 3-4 years. So now knowing that and watching what they produced for this film, it's like, what?
Yeah, but you're making a mistake. We're watching the film because we're watching it because of the past. They're making a film.
No, we're watching it because you said we had to do it for the cast.
I did.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's have it right.
But the reason why they've not made the film in homage, well, they made it as a homage film to the other 2 films.
Yeah.
But the whole point of them was doing a reboot, and this was the base of the reboot.
I don't think it was a reboot because, again, as you said, they shot it. The action scenes you would have thought was Michael Bay. So it's that
even
the
whole panning,
but
them looking up in the
that's not an homage.
Yeah, but then it's not a reboot.
Well,
It's not homage, it's in the
it kind of
exact
is
same
because
style.
I feel like they added the team. They added the
team to take over,
Yeah.
and the son to come back.
Yeah, but it's because I mean, if you stayed, I think just there was a post-credit scene.
Was it even a post-credit scene?
No, it wasn't. It was just right at the end.
It's right at the end where he was like, "Are you gonna come out of jail soon, or are you gonna come and do
I've got a job for you to like." They are gonna make
I'm
Bad
going to
Boys
pay
4.
my debt.
They are gonna make Bad Boys 4.
Shall we talk about that guy?
Which guy?
The son, the main guy.
Gemini Man 2.
I just, his acting was poor.
They literally
Carl, let me ask you a
They
question.
literally made Gemini Man, and then a month later released Gemini
Carl,
Man 2.
Let me ask you a question.
Quickest sequel in history.
Because you just said something. You said his acting was poor. Let me ask you a question. Were you watching this for people's acting?
No,
Were you
but it was
expecting
that
anything?
bad. It was that bad, and even on top of his acting, just his whole storyline, his whole arc was just
poor.
ridiculous.
It was a nice arc. It was honest.
It was ridiculous. How was he taken out? Again, it's a stupid film. You're not meant to take
Well,
it that seriously. But
you mean the first scene?
Wait. Can I
but
pause?
he was taking
Can I-
out so many high-profile targets.
And no one
With ease.
With ease.
A montage of high-profile targets
But you know
being
what?
taken
But you
out.
saw him on the
Like-
sniper though. But you saw he was serious on the sniper.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Then I was thinking,
Oh, the captain.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
Jesus.
No, we're gonna get into that.
nah,
We're gonna
man,
get into that.
it didn't make any sense because
A lot
you're
of
the
things.
boss. You shouldn't be going out and doing the hits yourself anyway.
No, but that's what his mum wanted.
Oh, his mum, who was just calling the shots
Yeah.
from
She was there. She was
that
like-
port.
she was
She
like-
just stood in that port, didn't change her clothes, just stood there for days on end,
doing the prayer.
waiting
Doing
to
the
phone him
prayer.
and him to phone her.
No
Like,
food
what
or
the?
water, nothing. There was on the subject of things that didn't make sense. There was one thing that got to me. So at the wedding, the witch.
The witch. The witch.
At the wedding. So Thingy's daughter's wedding. And they're like, oh, we're now gonna have. Oh, that was you obviously clocked that was Michael Bay in it, the pastor.
Yeah.
And then
Getting paid obviously for that huge role.
let's not get into that. But he's gone. We got to have some words from Uncle Mike, and then he gets up. I don't why did he say? We lived that stupid mantra that they've got in Bad Boys for Life. Why would you say that
At a wedding.
to
At a wedding.
someone who's just like I don't understand that? It just was the juxtaposition of it. I was like, well, why are you trying to use the tagline?
Because they
Wait.
just literally just chucked it in there.
Wait,
It made no sense.
Let me make something that made me laugh. You know the scene when you saw him getting out of the wheelchair to stand up?
Yeah.
It reminded me of Professor X from that film that we're not supposed to talk
Oh,
about.
no, that's a deep scene. That's a deep scene. Let's not get into it. No, that actually touched me. You know what he's talking about, innit?
I know what he's talking about.
What scene's that?
X-Men Last Stand, where Jean Grey makes him stand up.
Oh, yeah. Against his will.
It's unnecessary. I know what you mean, because the way that he got up slow, innit? Yeah, it's deep. Do you know what? I jumping ahead, that was actually my favourite scene. Not that, but when Will Smith got shot. That was my favourite scene.
And the good thing about that is they played it a couple more times on the recording as well.
Bro, to to make sure you know what happened.
No, it was because I didn't expect it, and just the way that
To
it
be
shot,
fair, it was
like,
it was
okay.
it was a nice little.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's why
So
I
you
liked
got
it.
It did come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. But that's jumping ahead. I mean,
Sure.
I didn't really find much else enjoyable about this. It's not even like I had anything against the film, but going into it blind, Martin Lawrence, for me, man, I just found the whole relationship between him and Mike Lowry, it felt very clunky,
Yeah,
felt
was
very forced.
But for me, it saved the film from being completely trash.
I'll give you that.
He's
but I'd say Will Smith.
He's better than Will Smith.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You think he's better now?
I enjoyed the way he performed his role much more than Will Smith.
What makes you say that?
I
couldn't buy Will Smith's character.
And you can buy Martin Lawrence as just being a
There were
fed up
certain
cop
lines he
being
was
done.
coming out with, and it was like, yeah, miss me with that bullshit. And trying to act like a tough guy.
No, but I couldn't believe that because do you know
trying
why?
to be a kid.
But do you know why?
Very
He thought it was his Fresh Prince again, and he thought he could redo the role.
No, but I was getting vibes of like he is the old man now, and this is the new generation. And
Not
he was
that
coming
he's the
with
old
that.
man, but he was trying to act almost like a bad man with some of his lines, and I was like,
I didn't
really
he
get
was
that.
trying-
Nah. Idris
think
Elba.
That
Idris
fool
Elba.
put holes in me.
Yeah, because it's arrogance, isn't it? Like
No,
his
but
whole-
it's the delivery of the lines like he's that guy. And he's not.
Yeah, but he is in his eyes.
He is. He is to a certain extent.
yeah.
It didn't sound to me the way he delivered
genuine?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
On it.
Okay.
So it's good acting
Unauthentic.
because you believed not to believe it.
That's it. I took it as, you know, like you've come up, you're now the older gen. You've got the ammo team who are a
Okay.
bit more with like even like the scene at the club. Like he got leveled a few times in the film.
Yeah.
But I got questions.
Can I just say? Can I just say? Sorry. Teresa Randall, she's aged not very well.
The swerve.
So what I was going to say, because I know you're going to
She needs to ring up Charles Dark. But anyway, she needs to give Charles Dark.
needs to drink some of that blood, baby.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like what was going on with her?
Mad.
No, I don't know what I was going to say now. Who was you talking about just before?
Sorry,
Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, the clunkiness of the relationship between Mike Lowry and what's his name?
I don't remember what I was going to say. Let it come back to me and then we carry on. Oh, wait.
I mean, yeah, and again, another thing I noticed.
Oh,
you've got your whole.
I know what it was now.
Go for it.
I was annoyed. I was like, so wait a second, captain's still captain, and these two haven't got promoted in the 15 years. I was scratching my head so much. I didn't get it. That's the part I was like,
That's a
wait,
fair
how
Even
enough
the
point.
captain scenes were dumb.
No, but he gets.
My favourite scene is he was in my favourite scene. I'm not
What,
gonna
when
lie.
he got shot?
Yeah.
But that
Because
was good.
it
That was
so
a good.
savage.
That was a yeah.
It was
again.
like everyone was just there chilling. It's like, I want to get him, Cap. I want to get.
Yeah.
Cap got capped.
No, that was. I thought that scene as well. That's what I'm saying. That guy, he was a boss on the sniper, man. The way that he was just picking people up, but it did get a bit silly
No, but
towards
he
the
got
end.
silly because he didn't kill him after. He didn't kill him after he shot the captain.
But because he wanted to.
No, because his mum said so, not because.
Yeah, true. Another moment as well. The cringiest moment in the whole film was when they're in the ammo base.
Not when they're singing.
And they start singing.
Yeah, we're not discussing that.
Oh my god! It was just.
Are we still talking about this film?
It was just.
I've got not much else to say in this film.
I haven't got no note. Do you know what? I've not written notes for anything. I'm doing.
Are you doing a me?
I'm doing an Amari.
Ah,
I'm going to see how it works out.
how's it going so far?
Very well. It was going better than the movie, to be honest with you.
All right. In that case, Giles, what was your favourite, most memorable scene? Let's wrap this
What?
one up. You got to have one. You know the
No, I
rules.
don't.
You know the rules. There's got to be something.
I said it earlier on when he was poking the guy's face.
Okay. Yeah, that was a bit mad though. That bulge.
Yeah. And the thing is,
It was
he did it
nasty.
once. He did it once. Like,
And he
yeah,
was-
that's funny.
And he was playing with it like
Yeah,
it's
like, he kept on going back. Like,
it's Play-Doh.
it's the way how they filmed it.
The joke got a bit overplayed for me. It was just a bit annoying.
But I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at the perspective, the depth and the perspective of Martin Lawrence's face.
Yeah.
It looked bigger than big.
Yeah. No, is he? Anyway, Amari.
Yeah, I told you, Captain getting shot. That was like one of my favourite
Captain
moments.
getting
Yeah. I did think it was stupid when he was trying to chase after. He was trying to. There was at the hotel, with a fake hotel, when they had to jump out the window, and Will Smith was just looking like a real old man trying to get from one ledge to the other, and I was like, oh, your time is up.
Yeah, so I'm saying I don't want to see Will Smith playing any more action roles. I think he should just focus on dramas and that.
But
now.
I think of
But
people
even
like
dramas, he's not that guy
He ain't
anymore.
got that skill anymore.
Oh really?
He's
What was his
really,
last- what was
he's
his
really
last drama?
fallen off.
I
man.
didn't watch. Was it
That was horrible.
Concussion?
He wanted to be nominated for an Oscar.
And he shouldn't.
What was the con one?
With Margot, was it?
Oh no,
Margot?
Focus.
Focus was all right.
He was alright in that.
Yeah, but
That's a while ago now, though.
no,
Is it?
what-
He was alright in that. To
Yeah,
be
but it's
fair.
nothing
But
to-
it was
nothing to write home about.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Like-
I think anyone could have done that job.
the last thing people will say he's good at was I Am Legend, basically.
Oh well.
Wow. Carl, what was your
I've said
favorite?
it. The scene on the plane where he's talking about, "Are you?"
Would you fuck the witch?
Yeah.
Oh, it would. Okay. Okay. Right, I'll kick this one off. I'm going to kick it off by playing this.
I just remembered he was in Aladdin as well. The genie.
Totally forgot. Tell her that was his best role. That's been his best role. That's been his best role. Just
I didn't
What do you
particularly
mean,
like him in
Genie?
that.
yeah.
No, Aladdin, Genie, the film called Genie. Just so we're clear.
I didn't particularly like him in that either.
Now, so anyway, as I was saying, for my wrap up, I'm going to kick things off by playing this.
Greed is good.
The greed of Hollywood continues. For me, another unnecessary installment of a franchise that has no business being continued in 2020. Nothing about this film had any staying power. The special effects and choreography were nothing to shout about from the rooftops. I found the storyline very dated. At least this could have been a bit comedic in my opinion, but Smith and Lawrence's chemistry is defunct and clunky. And as I said, can we just all admit that Smith's action hero days are now behind him? Nothing else really to scream about this film.
I mean, like, he's going to do Harrison Ford kind of roles, you know, when he shouldn't have been doing it. And he's running, you know, he's too old to do it, and he's seeing running around.
It
Like,
But you see the
tarnishes.
CGI on the action scenes. That's what it really did make me think of Gemini Man, because there's certain scenes
Yeah.
where you can see
Gemini
it's a
Man's
stunt
ridiculous.
double,
Yeah.
but they've put his CGI
Superimposed,
face
yeah.
on. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's too much. It's too much. And that's what I'm saying. When you start to do these kind of things, it does, to me, have an effect on your body of work. Like if you come in soft or you come in quite hard, strong, have a great career, and you end it with bullshit roles like this, for me, I just think, nah.
But they've all done it. Even the greats have done it. They've all done it. Even my favorite actor's done it. Robert did it. He's done that. He's made some bullshit
But
films.
I would say Tom Cruise and
don't hate
DiCaprio.
on Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is
No,
not
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying.
No.
They're the most.
Apart
They
from
have
the
consistent.
Mummy.
Their levels are
consistent.
Apart
Yeah.
from the Mummy.
They're the equivalent of being 22 points ahead.
Yeah, and this guy. But you're allowed to have a few blemishes. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
saying
Yeah,
that,
no, of
but
course.
this is like
This
okay,
is
you have to look,
consistently
because
bad
that's what
for
I'm
a
saying. You
while,
have to
yeah.
start looking at okay, what are we going off? If you have 3 miss, 4 miss, 5 miss, so that's kind of where I'm at with this. Unfortunately, like we've discussed as well, it looks like there will be a sequel, and it just continues.
It's been announced.
It just continues with
been
films.
announced.
When you have films like John Wick in the universe, I'm not trying to see Bad Boys 4.
No, but I don't think they're in the same universe. But
in terms of Planet Earth,
To be fair though, if you're a fan of the Arrowverse like I am, they did their own Thanos version, and now everyone is on the same Earth. Every
is it?
single DC superhero is on. But more about that.
that's
later.
another conversation. But I'm just saying it in terms of if I want to watch an action film in 2020, 2021, like I'm looking for, and even John Wick, like
Fast 9.
there's a phrase. What's that phrase that Alfred uses in Dark Knight when he says
If
something
you
like,
live long enough to be, if you
live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
No, yeah, you could die and be a hero, or you live long enough to become the villain.
That's the one. And in that personification, don't go out with rubbish, go out on a high. That's all I can say. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see these films getting made that are just a complete, again, my opinion, a waste of time, tarnishing people's careers. I'm giving this film 1 star. Giles.
I ain't got much to say about it. You know,
You're disgusted.
I was sat there watching it in like just disbelief. Like what? Again, I often ask this question of films. I'm like, what am I watching?
90 million was the budget for this
90
as well.
million?
$90 million.
How much is it made? Sorry, Giles.
I'll
It's
find
probably
out.
done very well.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Sorry, Giles.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there watching it like, why was this made? And the joke was, I'm sitting there watching it knowing that they're going to make another one. Like it.
Oh, did you find that out before you went?
Yeah. No, because it was announced. Exactly. It's like, and then I'm sitting there thinking, if they're gonna make another one, can it be worse than this?
Do you think Martin Lawrence is gonna be in the other one?
Oh, I hope not.
Because I feel like he saved it for me, so I don't know. I know if there's another one, I'm gonna watch
it. For
it.
me, nothing saved this film. It just didn't. For me, it didn't need to be made. It's one of them things. I find that when you get projects that happen, and they happen over a period of time that are close to each other, and then sometimes for one reason or another, time goes past, the dust settles. Leave it alone. They would have actually been better off just coming in with totally new actors, to be honest with you.
And just throwing back to what you said about
Bad Boys. They're not boys anymore.
The human race being idiots. I'm doing some research now. Bad Boys for Life has topped the box office for an incredible third straight week.
But this is what I'm saying.
This has been the most successful one in the franchise.
So this is why they'll make...
This is what I'm saying.
As I said, people in the cinema were dying with laughter.
But I can believe that. I can believe that. Because people go in with blinkers on. And it's
are we mad? Are we actually crazy?
I think we're the crazy ones.
We're the crazy ones, isn't it?
Because people will watch this and think, oh, it's another Bad Boys film. And they will just totally just paper over the fact that it's shit. 1 star from me.
To be fair, it's not the worst film I've seen this month.
It's not no, it's not. And we'll come to that later on. I'm sure.
We're gonna get into that.
But yeah.
Oh, I don't even...
1 fucking star from me, all right? 1 star.
Okay.
Because I think that was missed.
That's interesting, that comment you just made, but anyway.
Which comment?
Anyway,
what you just said.
Star rating, Amari.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, anyway. Well, it's a 2-star film. Because I did find parts... I was entertained. I'm not saying, like... It was funny because my mum... This is my mum's definition of it. She's like, oh, I'm not going to go to cinema to see it. That's what we call a TV film. And you know...
Completely agree with that. Completely agree with that. They're actually... And just off of that...
And on top of that, I don't even watch TV. in the vein that she's talking about TV films, I wouldn't even watch the film. So maybe it should have been a TV film. Would have saved me 2 hours.
But off of that, you know when you're watching certain films and you can see certain scenes, you're like, this could have easily... I like to call them Channel 5 films. Yeah. That's how I see it. They got a certain gloss.
Yeah, I don't watch... I couldn't tell you the last time I watched Channel 5. Carl?
Well, I could last night.
Carl? I don't know. I actually don't know.
Last time you watched Man United in Europe, probably.
Probably, yeah.
It's just unnecessary, isn't it? It's just unnecessary.
As I said, it doesn't bother me.
That wasn't even a low blow.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was
factual.
All the way round.
It was factual.
To give man the little gutty, man.
As I said, I don't care about Man United.
They can laugh, but it upsets me to hear you speak like that.
No, but the whole point of me not watching this season is because I could see what was coming. And under David Moyes, it was genuinely getting me down watching it. So I said, I'm not going to do that to myself this season.
But you've had two managers since David Moyes.
Yeah, but that was fine. It was not at that low point.
So are you going to watch next season?
I did. Depends on the signing. When Harry Maguire was signed, that's when I said, it's done. It's over.
Yeah, we sat in this very same room and laughed on this day that he was... Anyway, sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, I said the film was 2 stars. I was entertained, but it's definitely... We're going to get to the... We're not going to talk about the first film I've seen this month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the month of January, because there was something that I saw, which was really special. And I'm like, God. And what I'm going to say is that... Anyway, continue with your review.
So that's why I said that's very interesting, because I hope it's not one of the other films. But anyway.
No, it's not. So don't worry.
Okay, cool. 2 stars from me as well. There were a few small bits that I found entertaining. That's why I gave it 2 instead of 1. But again, as you said, it didn't need to be made. Will Smith, again, he really needs to start thinking about his decisions he's making with the roles he's choosing, because it's just not up to par anymore, and he is tarnishing his legacy. I thought this film needed to be at least, it's all about comedy and action. At least get one of those 2 elements correct.
Listen, I couldn't agree with that more. I couldn't.
That's all.
Or somewhere in the middle. Or somewhere in the middle.
That definition.
Yeah.
It's an action or comedy. At least get one of them.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with that.
And they dropped the ball on both, so that's why it's a poor film. 2 stars.
2 stars from Kyle. So adding up all of our individual stars, we're gonna give Bad Boys for Life a TMRG star rating of 2 stars.
Just before we go further, I'm gonna tell people what my worst film is of January.
Go for it.
So it's on Netflix. I know it's a touchy subject, don't worry. But A Fall from Grace, the Tyler Perry movie.
Do you know what? Without even, I have. Right.
Could I say Tyler Perry?
Yeah, I haven't even watched it. The joke is, I was actually having a conversation about one of the films we're going to review, and anyway, and then the same person mentioned this Fall from Grace, and then they said, because they was like, "Oh, have you seen this? What do you think about this?
No, I don't
it's a
see
Tyler
it.
Perry."
No.
And then all I did was put the Seinfeld gif when he just gets like he's out. He just gets out. He's done. Yeah, he's done. That's all I had to hear. Tyler Perry. That's it. I don't need to. Don't need to.
No, but on the levels, I've seen storylines and I've seen storylines before. And you know how Giles like to say, you like to keep saying, I can see it coming. You saw this from the first minute. From the first minute.
But it's Tyler Perry, man. What do we expect?
Exactly.
No, but I didn't know what to expect because I haven't seen one of these films for so long.
It doesn't matter.
They're all
He's
fucking
consistently the
same,
same. Yeah. That's it.
No, but there were certain things about that film.
No,
even
it's Tyler Perry.
even the wig, even the girl's wig was upsetting me. Like it was.
Right, moving swiftly on. Film number 2 of today is Just Mercy, released January the 17th, 2020, directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. We had Michael B. Jordan as Brian Stevenson, Jamie Foxx as Walter McMillan, Brie Larson as Eva Ansley, and Rafe Spall as Tommy Chapman. World-renowned civil rights defense attorney Brian Stevenson works to free a wrongly condemned death row prisoner.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Hey!
Kyle, were you entertained?
Yes.
Amari, were you entertained?
Yes.
Giles, were you entertained?
Yes.
Full house, I was entertained as well. Kyle, let's start off with you, if you're entertained. What about this film did you enjoy?
I enjoyed.
That was a complete.
Wait, leave that in. Leave that in.
Sorry about
leave
that,
in. Don't edit that out.
I wasn't trying to sabotage
Wow.
you.
That was like
Man came with the Undertaker.
That's what I'm saying. Trying to do, man.
Right, let's try that again. Kyle, what did you find entertaining about Just Mercy?
I thought the overall storyline was very good. I liked the actual message and what the guy was actually trying to do. The fact it was real as well. I enjoyed that. But I thought the performances, particularly Jamie Foxx, very, very good.
Listen.
But performances all round in the film were very good. What you doing? Who did you not like?
Who do you not feeling?
I've realised that Michael B. Jordan has one type of character arc behaviour.
It's because he's got one face. He pulls the same expression.
I thought he did a good performance.
I feel like he's done the same performance just with a different storyline for all the films that I recognise or recommend to people to see. We don't rate for what he did in Creed because any black guy could have just been Apollo Creed's son.
And it's rubbish.
Well, that's another part of it. But when I think about his other roles that I remember him being in, he's played the same person.
Have you seen Fruitvale?
Yeah. For me, he's played the same person, just with a different actual...
Since Wallace. Since Wallace and The Wire. Since he died.
No, but
his acting skills died with Wallace
Literally.
in The Wire.
Literally.
I disagree.
But I'm not saying he doesn't... But he's done this different films or different film genres, but his actual character... or the way he's portrayed the character is the same set of skills.
But are you saying it wasn't a good performance though?
I just think it's just an average performance. You said it was good. You said you were all wrong. I don't put him in that category. He was not in I don't put him in the same category as even the dumb district attorney or whatever he was, because that wag was lost and confused. I thought his performance was more compelling with his smaller role than Jordan's was.
Interesting. I disagree. I thought it was a good performance.
I think it was good. It wasn't anything. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It was a stellar,
solid-
for me, it was a stellar performance from him.
yeah.
It was a solid performance. I like the way the film opened and set up everything. Just him meeting the guy on death row. And
Wait,
then-
before that,
The first meeting of Death Row.
the first opening scene is that timeless scenario: black man, white cop, intimidation.
Hang on, before we even
Get to that scene.
before we even break that scene down, There's one thing that stood out from that scene for me. Jamie Foxx's moustache.
You mean the porn star moustache?
Oh my gosh.
It was epic.
No, it was serious. It was serious.
The day I grow a moustache that thick and that moustachey, I don't need to live another day on this earth.
Yeah, it was serious. It was like a belt on his upper lip.
That moustache was, and then to compound it even further, man had the baseball cap on with the tufts of hair coming out either side.
Nah,
if he don't win an Oscar for that, like we put it on the anyway. You took a picture of that.
Yeah,
bruv.
It's going in the group. It's
Yeah.
going in the group. It might even be the display picture for a week or so. But on the subject of Jamie Foxx, I want to say one thing and see what you boys think. Now, obviously, I know he can act. I know he's a serious actor. But where I know him from entering the entertainment industry as a comedian, stand-up, which is acting in itself, sometimes I watch him acting and I'm just like astounded at how good of an actor he is.
He's
especially when I know he can sing.
He's levels.
He's got the comedy. Like he's got so many different talents.
Facets.
He's probably one of the most underrated actors.
Oh yeah. Well,
100%.
Do you know what?
I wouldn't say he's underrated though.
No.
I think people do rate
Do you know
him.
what? I agree with your statement, but I'm going to take it for. I say he's one of the most underrated entertainers because he's not just an actor.
Oh yeah. I agree with
Across
that.
the board,
Yeah.
he is levels.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he's excelled in every one of those facets.
Yeah.
Do you see what
He's
I'm saying?
levels. He's blatantly levels.
From very early, and I think it's the first scene, I think that you mentioned, Kyle Lamari, where he meets Michael B. Jordan, Brian Stevenson, and that's when he gets introduced to him.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the first scene
with the
in
church,
film.
with the other guys from the church.
Yeah, this is
And they
before
were
he's
singing.
even past the bar.
Yeah.
The
It's when he's an
very
intern.
first scene.
When
He's an intern.
Oh, with the other guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Right. That kinda sets up.
they say that they're both basically from the same similar background.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they're singing together, and
And you see
when
one
the guard takes him away.
but it's funny because you see one guy who had a break and one guy who didn't have a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
But
Yeah.
it was his break was his execution is not till at least another year.
That's
so
right.
now
And
he
man
can
was
let
happy.
people come and visit.
Yeah.
Do you know how
That's
mad
deep.
that is?
Yeah, that was deep.
man.
That was deep. That was deep.
That was deep.
On that subject, I mean, obviously the whole theme of the film, it has been done a million times. It will be done a million times more. But whenever I watch a film or anything that is going to tap into that sort of racism, struggle, wrongly accused, all that kind of stuff, obviously, as black men, it is gonna hit home a little bit, so you take a little bit more interest. So I'm always very intrigued to see how something's executed, and I think they've done well with this. I won't say it's the best film that I've ever seen that tackles a subject like this or has subject matters in it, but I think throughout the whole film, everything about it I thought was good. The only thing I didn't like was some of the music at times. It felt a little bit cheap. I don't know if that's just because my ears have become accustomed to Hans Zimmer scores, but I felt like there was certain parts where it just felt a bit. They could have used the music as a tool to really bring across more emotion and more of a struggle. But other than that, and the way it was filmed as well was very nice. That kind of, it had like a sort of sheen over it, and it felt older than it was because I think it's set in the late 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
88 to 93, 94.
Yeah. But
Why do I think it was longer?
Well, the time period.
Yeah.
He was in prison for 6 years, so.
No, it was around that time because
Yeah.
he went. I think the court date was
Okay.
around 92.
And,
90.
But you know what? What part of the things that hurt me in the film was they kept on saying, "Oh, they did Mockingbird. It happened right here."
Yeah.
And then because like, do you want to go see Mockingbird? And I was
They
like-
did that deliberately,
and
innit?
I
Yeah,
was
of course.
Like, you people don't even know that you are wankers. You're just doing it and you don't even realize. And I was like, oh, what? This is in 92. So the racism was still peak back in 90. Not even that.
Yeah,
not
bro.
even that fact that it was peak because you knew it was peak.
No,
But,
but I know-
you're still
I
getting
know
away
exactly
with the
what you're
blatant.
in the
saying.
South.
Yeah,
I know
you,
exactly
you was
what you're
thinking
saying.
you were doing the subtle ones. No, but doing in your face blatantly. And
Yeah.
I was like,
And
bruh.
off of that, I got dropped one bomb for Rafe Spoon. Serious guy, very serious. Because the minute I saw him, I forgot who he was, but I was like, when you watch a film, I know that guy. And I said to John, oh, you seen Just Mercy? He's like, yeah, that guy that's playing the sort of other lawyer opposing Michael B. Jordan. I said, we've spoken about him in a film before, Men in Black International. Then obviously we've done the research. So our guy from Black Mirror, he's he was excellent. I thought his performance was very.
Because he's British, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
And his accent was it didn't waver.
You didn't know.
That's it. And I think you said, Amari, Michael B. Jordan needed another character directly opposing him to really work. I thought Rafe Spall did an excellent
their
job.
scenes together are really good. Like even towards the end when he went to his house, and he I felt that what's his name, Rafe Spall. I like the conflict that his character. The conflict was always there, but he chose to ignore it until it overweighed his conscience.
Because there was that scene when he was in his house.
Yeah.
And he was watching the 60 Minutes with his wife.
Yeah, and
his
the way
wife,
she looked at him.
She's like, so what are you doing right now? Because and I know. And I'm not. And I was
we got to drop a bomb for that sheriff, his boss.
Tate. Tom Tate.
He was not shifted.
Nah.
You know the ones in the courtroom.
The look of disdain man gave him when he was like, all right, we'll support the dropping of the charges.
It wasn't even his look. It was the look he was giving to everyone in the courtroom.
Everyone got set.
When the guy said,
in that suede jacket.
Did you do this because you were getting threatened? And you just see man in the background just look.
Yeah. Because did you clock the way Michael B. Jordan actually went and stood in front of to block off the highlight. He was still looking
right through him. That was the only thing I didn't like. I didn't like they didn't show what happened to him at the end of the film.
Well, the sheriff, they did.
The sheriff,
yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. He got voted until last year.
Basically,
until last year.
Is it?
He was the sheriff until last year, bro.
He basically
until
died.
2019.
Until he basically couldn't do it.
Voted in about between 6 or 8 times. Re-elected
afterwards.
And they said that in the film.
Yeah, right at the end, bro.
It was one of the ending slides. Okay. So because after the trial's done, to be fair, I think you don't really hear him say anything else after.
Because I wanted to know, was there any reparation? What happened to him?
No, nothing.
No,
it's the same thing as the other judge.
He just got kept on getting re-elected.
He got a pay rise, mate. That's what happened. It's mad. But even that, it's like. I watch these films. I think the last film that kind of touched me like this was Black Klansman. And when it becomes, when you're watching a film, even though if you know it's historical, whatever, sometimes it's not relatable because we're living in 2019, 2020, this happened in the past. So, you're going to be like, okay, I know this happened, but it's not happening now. But when it kind of is like, but hang on, this guy was still in charge of this area till last year. And you're like, oh, wow. Like, okay. This shit I'm seeing is still, people are still getting put in positions of power when they know how immoral their mindset is.
I like this film. I'm a sucker for a Bunny Ears true story.
Yeah, same.
Because again, as we've talked about in previous episodes, the facts aren't always the facts as they're presented. But I'd like to believe, and I'm waiting for Murray to tell us that they're not the facts.
The checker.
That this was a kind of a true account of what actually took place.
But just off of that, I agree with that, but I feel that it stayed true to what I believe is the truth because not that much happens.
Right.
There doesn't really seem... the only sort of... it could get a bit grey is when we're talking about the guy with the... who looks like he's had a stroke.
So that was Tim Blake Nelson.
That's it.
So... He actually was, for me, the best performer. He gave the best performance.
His performance.
Because even when you looked, you might have missed it. If you looked at the character that he was portraying at the end,
I thought it was him,
bruv.
I actually thought, wait,
and
did
again,
they get the real guy? It looked exactly.
I've recently
like
watched. I've recently watched. TBN, as we're going to now call him, in The Watchmen. Again, another fantastic TV series. And when I saw him, I was like, that's the guy from Watchmen. Like he totally kind of captivated me and how he stayed in character, like twisting up his mouth like that and all the rest of it.
The walk, the speech,
it was good. It was levels.
So that's why, like, I think, who was it at the beginning? You said about performances. You said the performances were great all round.
Yeah, they were.
A lot of them were. I know what you mean. Like there might have been some which were like, oh, not as hitting, but I'd like to look at it like, well, there was a lot of good performances. So. Kyle, what about your mate O'Shea? How did you think he got on?
Performance, I thought. He didn't really have much to do.
He didn't have much to do.
He didn't, but for what he did, I wasn't annoyed, put it that way.
I tell you, watch.
Nah, he never went on watch.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
no, he
No,
did.
he
No, he
did.
did.
He definitely
No,
went
no,
on watch.
no,
He
he
definitely
been
went
on
on
watch.
watch. Because
He went on watch.
you're so angry
no.
about. You're so angry from him.
He didn't go on watch.
It was Ken
No, it was Ken.
No,
Yeah.
they both.
And then O'Shea.
O'Shea went on watch as well.
Nah, trust me.
O'Shea went on
I've been
watch.
listening to the show.
No.
He wasn't on
There
watch.
was another film he was in.
Yeah, it was
So
just-
he was in 2 films.
He was in 2 films.
Yes,
The
after
second
this
one put him on watch.
But he didn't
Yes,
go and watch
he
though.
did.
It was just, I just couldn't believe.
by association.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it was him again.
Yeah,
It was after Godzilla.
Yeah.
It was after Godzilla.
Oh, he was definitely
got
on
put on
watch.
No,
Everyone in
trust me.
Godzilla is now on watch. How you mean?
Nah, he did alright.
Nah, I thought he done alright.
Did alright.
Talking about other performances, Brie Larson was
Yeah.
it was a bit of a weird one because I expected her to have a bigger part.
No, but what I did like is that I remember that she can act.
Yeah, that's what I've written as well.
Instead of forgetting that she's just a
These are
character.
the sort of roles she should be doing. She shouldn't be doing Captain Marvel. that's not her lane.
serious.
It's not her lane.
That's not her skill set.
She's good at
Hey,
these
but
sort of
when that Marvel
performances.
money comes,
Green.
what you gonna do when Marvel money comes knocking for you?
You think you're running away from me?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Give it to me. How? No.
We're gonna write a number, and we're gonna keep adding zeros till you say yes.
Yeah, facts.
Nah, she done well. A good supporting actor,
Yeah.
or actress, I think.
I just expected her to have more scenes.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I kind of like when more established actors don't. Like, that's a conversation I think we had outside of the cast about me and you, Carl, about 1917. But I like when you kind of see a face that you know is, okay, you're a big guy or a big, you know, but they don't steal the limelight. They kind of just add to it.
They're not in it for them. They're there because they actually like
Want
being
to act.
Yeah,
Yes.
like being an actor.
Yeah,
So they can,
yeah, definitely. On this, going back to our conversation about Jamie Foxx, he just, from the minute the film starts, each scene he just kept taking it up. I didn't get a chance to write a lot of the script down, but there were a lot of bars. Like, I think one of them, the ones that stuck in my mind, because it ties into something else I wanted to say on a quick one. Michael B Jordan suit game. Kyle, I know you loved it. I know you appreciated it. I was feeling it. Every scene there was a different suit. Amari, why are you looking like that?
You sure?
90
not
suits,
agreed.
though. 90 suits, man.
No, I thought like there was.
I
many,
liked it, man.
I
I
thought
liked
there was
it.
many. I'm not gonna. I could be wrong. But
See, the reason why
the suits
sorry,
were the
Amari.
same.
They were
It's the
pretty
same
similar.
suit.
Yeah,
Just different tie and shirt.
They were, but if you've watched Suits for 7-8 years and you've watched Harvey
Suits, you don't care. You don't even start conversations.
Like,
No.
hey, like, what, Harvey Specter Suits, come on, man.
I enjoyed it. But I say that to say Jamie Foxx dropped a bar where he said something like, the only suit.
It's the white one.
Yeah.
I think the only suit they expect a black man to wear is the white one that we're wearing here. Yeah.
No. It was the janitor one or the white one.
Yeah.
Because he was like.
But it was the way he was delivering these lines as well. Just it was dark. He progressively got better throughout the film. Let's talk about Herbert quickly, because I thought he was another.
No.
You don't want to talk about
I don't
Herbert.
want to talk about Herbert.
Why not?
Because Herbert is part of my favourite scene, so I can't talk about
Well, then let's
Herbert.
go into favourite scenes, and you can kick it off with a conversation about Herbert.
Now, this isn't funny, and we shouldn't laugh at this, but for some reason it made me laugh.
It made me laugh as well.
When they were going through Herbert's file, okay, and Herbert is a Vietnam vet, that made the hell it started. That made me think of when we were in Boston, and we'd literally just pulled up at the lights, and that guy tapped on the window, and he started playing his harmonica in the car, talking about he's a Vietnam vet and all the rest of it. And then as she proceeded to read out about his kind of his fourth
mental
grade,
state.
and she said it got so bad that he was running outside and screaming incoming to the neighbours.
That's bad.
I thought to myself,
There's levels. There's levels
It's
of...
not to be laughed at, but for some reason I found it funny. Like, I could imagine him running outside and doing that because he'd just been... This is a man who's given his all for his country, and then... Because did they even explain why he was in death row in the first place?
Oh, because he blew up someone back. Well,
Yeah, he put a bomb outside through a letterbox, wasn't it?
I don't know. They wasn't supposed to be at home or something
yeah.
like that, and he was at home, and then she died.
But again, it's like bringing it back to the seriousness. It was the fact that, okay, he's done this, but he's in this, this demented state. And again, one of the themes the biggest theme for me of the film was this misrepresentation that all these guys had.
Yeah.
Why they was in this situation in the first place. You know, so yeah, that was my favorite. Just when she was reading it out for various reasons, but one of them being funny when I just know why I found that funny, but I did.
But that's the thing. It's like, you know, I don't think I've seen a film where the subject is obviously racism. It's the white man, you know, it's oppressing the black man, whatever. But it's the fact that they, well, not innocent, but the kind of way that they'd been put in prison was, I think, because O'Shea Jackson's character.
He was screwed basically.
They just said, we knew he was guilty by looking at him.
By looking at him, yeah.
Which is just
30 years he was in for.
Yeah, it's mad.
And obviously
30 years.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx's character.
Well, he wasn't because he was black. He was more because he was a black man sleeping with a white woman.
White woman.
Yeah. But still.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying he had that was more of a vendetta.
Yeah.
Than an actual. I'm just.
But
he was deliberately chosen for a reason, if that makes sense.
But all these entities.
And big up to his wife for sticking with him. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But no, it was interesting to see that kind of the way that it was being told in terms of these are it's innocent-ish men. But favourite scene, Amari?
I just enjoyed a lot of the film. I think.
What was most memorable then?
To be fair,
you can't say that.
I know, that was too great. No, to be fair, I think my favourite thing was it sounds mad, but it was just a small little scene I said earlier about with the 60 minutes with the wife looking at Chapman. And
no, it was good with the kids playing.
It was like so, and because in my mind you could feel the wife saying, "So if that was our person, our family, if that was me, do you think the other person should not let me be free, or what? You think because I don't have somebody else?" And I was like, because I was just thinking all the things that she must have been thinking without even saying to him.
In a look.
Just in a look.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's for me, even though it's not the most important scene, it was
it was most memorable for you.
Most memorable and resonates, like thinking a look can do a lot.
Agreed. Kyle, what about yourself?
Mine was where they were taking Jamie Foxx back to his cell.
Deep scene, man.
Deep. And that's where I was
when
like,
he broke down.
Yeah, the pinnacle for me of his performance.
That was his bottom if they time in there, isn't it?
Yeah. Like when he was resisting going back into the cell and then he just broke down crying, man. It was deep. There were a few deep, obviously when the guy you were just talking about.
Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert, when he gets executed as well.
That was my favourite scene.
I'll let you talk about that. Then,
yeah,
that was deep.
Again, like, we've seen these kind of scenes for years, decades, and they will never get overlooked unless they're done really badly, but they'll never get overlooked or you'll never feel some sort of emotion. But it was the whole, the execution. So I'm going to pick the scene, obviously, when he's in a chair, but I'd look at the whole sequence from the night before, from when he's crying and he's, or even from when he gets his date.
Yeah.
And it's even the language, I've got my date. Then it's the night before and he's like, you know, he's wilding out. He's, what am I gonna... Jamie Foxx is saying, calm down, don't worry. You know, taking his, Then he's getting taken out. Then he's saying bye. And I was saying that, that's it, you know. He's saying, bye. And that's it. You're not going to see these men again. Then he gets taken to get his hair cut.
Yeah.
Eyebrows, facial hair, all gone. Then he's gone to the actual chair. And like the whole thing
even before
just,
that, when he's like, these are the nicest people who've been to me.
That was when he's speaking to Michael B Jordan, innit?
Yeah.
That's after he gets his trim.
Yeah.
So then he's, that's right. So, you're right. So then he's having the chat with Michael B Jordan. Even, I think that was one of the scenes for me where Michael B Jordan, I felt his performance. Like to me at that point, I felt like he felt like really, really bad to be sitting next to someone who knows they're about to die. And then even some of the things Herbert was saying, like, I
got no family, I'm sending you my flag, I hope that's okay.
Serious.
It was a touching scene.
Serious. And then obviously gets taken to the room, and then again, because we've seen this scene in so many films, we're waiting for the phone call. You're waiting for that, it's not going to happen. He's been pushed. No phone call comes. And then all the guys are screaming, we're with you, It was that for me.
Yeah, when they're banging on the cells, again, I got a feeling.
Just to let him know we're there kind of thing.
That was a very sad scene. And I don't, again, I've said it before and I've seen this, I don't get how people can just sit there and actually watch an execution.
Michael B. Jordan
But
again,
again-
like the way he reacted to it, I thought was very
but
realistic.
even just that, the public and stuff. I'm just
But again,
like,
in answer to that, if you think about it, yeah, you're right. I don't understand, but you look where we are as a planet. I must be on some sort of planetarian talk today. But look
you
where
got to
we are.
space
I know,
over
yeah.
the break, over the hiatus, like.
Look where we are. Like, you see people getting executed and all sorts of. I mean, look, there was a shooting in Streatham today.
Yeah.
And within minutes of that happening, the video was on WhatsApp, on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
And people are desensitized to it. Do you
But
understand what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's, you see the video, you're just like, wow, I can't believe this. But for you to say, I'm going out of my house, I'm going to sit down.
But that's what people.
and
But
watch
people
this
used to do.
person.
But again,
It's
people, even in this
mad.
country,
Yeah.
go and look up the history of Marble Arch. Go and look at what used to happen at Marble Arch, and the crowds that used to gather just to see what was going on at Marble Arch.
It's something in I think humans' code. Like this conver's going very deep,
Yeah.
but I feel like
Think back to
that
Gladiators.
lust for death and for pain it is in
It's always been there.
everybody's code, but it's more prevalent in some than others. So like you will say, I don't need to see that. There's people that would say, I'd like to see that. I wonder what it's like. You know, I personally don't know if I could either, because then on a very quick one, that leads to my next question. Where's your thoughts on the death penalty? Because I think that's an interesting conversation. Because I'm watching this
That's a
scene.
podcast on its own.
That's a,
Do you know
that's a separate podcast, yeah.
Only, all right, in that case, I'll answer
in
mine.
a quick, I don't agree with it.
I'll answer,
We
yeah,
won't go into
very
it, but
quickly.
yeah.
I agree with it.
Depends on there's
a line.
Yeah.
there's the circumstances.
And that's where I kind of sit. Like watching the scene, like this kind of scene, it makes you think. Like
Because for me, there's some people that just, if they're
committing heinous crimes
and,
with no
they're guilty beyond all
banter rights.
Yeah,
I did it.
Then
What?
yeah, and
Yeah.
putting them in, for example, I don't know, Fred West, Rosemary West. What was the point in them putting them in jail? It didn't make sense. I know it's in this country, but they're just the two people that come to mind. But
No,
yeah,
I agree. But it that kind of scene, it was such a good scene. It did make me start to ask these kind of questions to myself. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
Wait, just before we do that, one of my favorite character arcs was the guard.
yeah.
I did not like his arc at all.
Oh, interesting.
Because I thought it was more because he's never been. So I think his arc, it kind of was doing I'm going to be nice to Herbert because he's dying today. But then when he saw him die,
he changed.
he changed.
He
That's
did
what
change.
changed him.
He did change.
Not the actual.
It didn't come through for me.
No, he did.
I think it did.
That's
I
one of
agree.
the things I
agree.
wrote down. I was like,
And I
why
also,
is he being nice all of a sudden?
He's not
because he was there during. If you look at, there was a scene where they showed. I think he was outside the room. Like he wasn't in the room with everyone else. He was outside. There was a scene where they shot
and they saw his face.
through the door, and he wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
He wasn't
like,
comfortable at
Do you
all.
remember the guy in Green Mile who's like on it?
Yeah.
He
Like,
was. He's like
keep
because he's
the
the
thing
one
down.
that
Right.
takes the sponge out because he wants to see.
Yeah.
He wasn't
But
on those levels.
I don't know, because all right, you haven't seen that before, but now you're going from not being a racist to being nice to everyone. I didn't see it.
But that
Just
could-
from
but that
seeing
could make a man
It
change.
could, but it wasn't enough. They didn't show enough
Yeah,
for
but
me.
I
For you.
hear
I
that.
get
Fair
that.
enough.
I mean, that
just-
wasn't a pivotal point of the film, and I get why they didn't dwell on it. But I think they
Just meant
they
for
showed
him,
enough
yeah.
of it to show that actually his moral did change.
But on that for me, and you'll hear my rating, is why I've rated this film what it is, because these kind of films, I've seen so many where they have gone into more depth, they
Yeah.
have gone into more character exploration, gone into maybe more of the story.
But it wasn't about the guards.
But it wasn't that. But that's what I'm saying. This
Whereas
was a
Green
very,
Mile the story was centrally around the guards.
Yeah, but even
And
then, like even if
big
it's
job.
around that, you can still go
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
and that's where this for me, like we'll go into the star ratings in a sec, but it wasn't that. This was kind of like a short dose,
Yeah.
a short hard dose, basically. You know, they could easily turn this into a TV, part, like, or they could have made it longer and gone into his family and gone into like the preface before he gets put in prison. This was kind of like a short,
We mean little
like,
flashbacks. Of the adultery behavior, which basically put him in his position.
And that's all I'm asked. Basically, I wanted to see like what was going on. But anyway. Charles, I'll let you kick this one off.
I'm gonna again. I haven't done any notes on it. I'm liking this, not doing any notes.
Right.
It's
Right.
actually-
Trendsetter.
The only thing that hard is remembering exact quotes. once, but we can
don't
work
worry
with that.
don't worry about it. It was first day back in the office. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. I think it like you said, it's been done before. It will be done again, probably be done more now, actually. Because now everyone's got to be woke and aware of which is a good thing, you know. Why I like these stories because there's so many to tell. You know, I listen to a lot of crime podcasts, and every week there's a new story. There's thousands of these sort of stories where you could actually just turn them into movies. So, did it break any new ground for me? No. I just think it did it. It told the story really well. It didn't spend too long in jail. It didn't spend too long in the courtroom. It didn't spend too long on the appeal. It didn't really get too deep with the characters. It just kind of showed enough, and then kind of moved on. It accelerated the story at a decent pace for me. So yeah, and it had a favourable outcome. You know, overall. It had a favourable outcome. So yeah, 3 stars from me.
3 stars from Giles. Omari?
4 stars. I get everything that Giles said. I just enjoyed. I just felt myself emotionally involved a lot more than I usually would. Not because it's the type of film. I just felt emotionally involved. Part of the reason why it's getting 4 stars is because of Jamie Foxx. Part of the reason why it doesn't get 5 stars is because of Jordan. If I'm serious, because if you're the main guy, you have to carry it as the main guy. You carry it as the main guy, so you can't get a 5. But it's one of those films that I would recommend people to watch just for the choice of seeing what it is like and how people's. I thought that people's character arcs, like the guard for me, was actually a very important character because you need to realize he doesn't even know he's being racist. Whereas
you think he didn't know?
You think he didn't know?
He knew.
No, but he's definitely no. But what his definition of racism is and what it is in a.
But they know.
Of course he knows. He made them strip search.
Yeah,
he strip searched a lawyer.
I don't think he thinks he knows he's being racist.
Oh,
I couldn't.
They know. They know what they're doing.
So what you think he would have
for him
a white lawyer strip search?
For him to not know what he's doing would mean that he doesn't know that Michael B. Jordan was a black lawyer.
Yeah, that was the whole point of that scene. That's what I'm saying. I didn't see that turn. How do you turn from making a lawyer, you really a lawyer, making him strip naked to being so nice because you've seen someone die?
And again, the way how you think about where the story's set. That's inherently in them.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He doesn't know that.
I get what you're saying.
He doesn't know it's racism.
Oh, but they do know.
He's just grown into it.
But they do know.
Yeah, you can grow into something, but
you still know what it is. You know what it is.
You still know it's wrong.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
But he's different to me. I'm going to treat him different.
Yeah,
fair enough. But obviously, with me, the sheriff, he knew he was racist.
And the thing is, no, but on that point, I get what you're saying because it's like where it's just intrinsically in him, he doesn't understand.
So you're saying it's ignorance?
But it's even the same situation with Chapman. He was like, it's in him to be favourable to a white guy, etc., etc. It was only until he looked at himself, realizing that he's actually being a racist person, is when he eventually changed his position.
And you know why you're saying that? Because it was the sort of the old guard, as it were. So like where you're introduced to, was it Tom Tate at the start, and you know that he's being racist. And obviously where he's the old sort of timer, and he's kind of brung up Rafe Spall's character, and then it's a generation thing. I get what you're saying,
but again, I don't think he changed his position because he was no longer a racist. It's just the facts, the evidence. You cannot back that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It got to that point when Michael B. Jordan had to go to his house.
The case was proven.
That it just looked ridiculous.
I don't know, because I saw the judge still say that they couldn't acquit the based on the evidence provided.
That's mad.
So when that judge can do that, that's what you'd call racism.
I don't know. I felt like he was backed into a court. He couldn't defend that. Not that he's no longer a racist per se. I felt like it was just the evidence was too damning. It was too much.
Fairs. But yeah, but that's for me. This is why I was like, okay, cool. This is how people. But this is also in my mind. How do people learn? It's not going to be over one meeting or one conversation. It's going to take years.
You're saying the God. You talking about his change?
Yeah, But it's also what the guard could also represent in terms of people who live in this.
Because let's be clear, his change isn't American history.
I know that.
Change.
I know that. I'm not.
Let's just.
We're not even. We can't even.
Because since we've got a barometer
that is 5 stars. Just you have to put some respect on that. It's 5 stars.
Since we've got a barometer of racist character changes that we can refer to.
Yes, fair enough. Fair enough.
I was sitting there listening to him thinking, hang on.
Adolf Hitler, Inglourious Bastards. Where does he sit on the meter?
Well, he's burned, Elliot. He's burned.
So
he's
4
not
stars.
sitting.
4 stars from
4
Mario.
stars, yeah.
Kyle.
Mine is 3, mainly because, again, I've seen it before, but not even in the sense of black injustice, in the sense of the courtroom sort of drama. He's going to go to trial, he's going to lose, then he's going to come back, win the case. That was very formulaic to me. He's going to go through a few struggles here and there, but then ultimately he's going to win in the end. So that's why I gave it 3, because it's not something new I haven't seen before. I thought the performances all round were very good. Again, as we've spoken about, Jamie Foxx, one of the best performances I've seen in a long time. I thought, again, some of the dialogue was brilliant as well. But I just think there were parts of it which dragged towards the end for me, which knocked off a star. I felt like it could have got wrapped up a bit quicker. It kind of dragged it out a bit. So that's why I gave it 3 stars.
3 stars from Cole. And I'm going to finish off the individuals with 3 stars as well. Overall, a decent watch. Nothing outstanding, though, in my opinion. As I said at the start, I'm always drawn into films based on true stories, and films regarding racial topics are always quite close to heart. I think the tone was spot on. It wasn't too strong, but it wasn't too light. Perfect balance. Michael B. Jordan is a good lead, and it's great to see him starting to show a bit more like versatility and depth after Marvel. Because even in that, he played quite an interesting character in Marvel.
But he's playing the same kind of role though in Marvel.
However, it's good to see him taking a role like this, because it makes me think you're not scared. You're open to taking roles that you might have to.
He's diverse enough to.
And I still look at him as he's not sort of young in his career, but he's got a lot of years.
He's still in the early stages. Though.
He's not like a fresh.
He's not a rookie.
Yeah, but he's showing.
He's not an old head.
He's in his sophomore year.
Exactly. And I'm looking at that as okay. So this is what we're doing now. I'm looking at your body of work so far, and it makes me interested in. And I'm hoping, okay, you're going to continue this growth and versatility. And you never know. And off of that, talking about, he's hanging here with Jamie Foxx. Now, obviously, Jamie Foxx's levels, but the fact that he was hanging with him.
You must have learned a lot from Jamie anyway.
I'm looking to see, is Denzel going to pass up? Is he going to say, right, let's do something together? Is he getting the rub from all the great black actors that are going to push him as the leader of the new school? It's promising. It's promising. The storyline was good. It was interesting. It was well told. There's so many stories like that, and this one was well done. And it made me want to go and research and find more out. However, like Carl was saying, I did feel this was like quite a small, quick look at something which I know it's got more depth to it. And I think that's kind of why this was a 3 and not 4 for me. It just there wasn't enough depth to the film. But it was a very, very good film. And I'm just going to give a shout out to Rafe again. I thought he played a very good part, and the performances all around, as you say, Carl, were very good. So that together, we had up our individuals gives Just Mercy.
Go on. No, you do that.
A star rating of 3 stars. A fair rating on that one. You were saying?
I've just looked up what he's about to do.
Who, Michael B. Jordan?
Yes.
After I've just said that.
Well, I was looking. You were talking. I was looking.
It's just going to discredit everything I've just said. What's he doing?
I can feel it.
I'm just saying.
Go on.
He's got an action movie coming up.
Okay.
Now, the action movies are where it could all go.
What franchise?
Will Smithy.
No. Dave Batista.
No. Nothing could go like that. Stop.
Will Smithy.
Oh, Smithy.
Love that.
Yeah, no, he's got a film coming out. It's slated to come out in September, Without Remorse. So he's playing a Navy SEAL and he goes on the path to avenge his wife's murder.
Same character.
Only to find himself inside. Exactly.
Same character.
And also same characters, Creed 3's on the way as well.
Same character.
Same character.
You're telling me
I don't have a
range and
problem with it.
diversification. I'm not seeing it.
No, there's another one. He's playing a maths teacher.
Okay.
Probably the same character.
No, but the maths teacher has the most hope right now.
Yeah.
It's true.
But unless he's going to be a maths teacher that's going to inspire his kids to do better, then I'm going to be like, okay, this is slightly different. So now we've got a little bit of diversification.
I don't mind it.
But the maths teacher film's only been announced, so
So we got hope.
yeah.
All right, cool. But you know, it's interesting when you say the new school, because obviously we're seeing Michael B. Jordan, and we've got my guy coming up in the next film that we're reviewing, and we're talking about the new school wave of actors, of leads. So it's...
And that's something else. You just reminded me of my final point for that film. I think it's good, and I think I said this to you, to see a young black actor delving into these historical, racially charged films for the modern generation today, who I feel are at the most distance from that history. Like,
But
do you
will the
see what I'm
modern
saying?
generation go and see this? I don't think they will.
But
They'll go and watch Bad Boys for Life.
But the fact that Michael B. Jordan's in it, he does have some pulling power.
I hope so.
Especially off of Black Panther.
What are the numbers?
But it's got an indie vibe feel to it.
True,
so
true.
I don't expect the numbers to be that big. to be
True,
fair.
but it's a film that I think, you know, if people are saying, "Oh, have you seen this? Have you seen that?" It's got Killmonger in it.
It's a word of mouth film, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's good to see that he's doing those kind of films as well, because the youth are in trouble, man. Like, you know,
you for today, if you're listening, please go and watch Just
it's
Mercy.
true. Yeah, all those kind of films.
You need to understand
the opportunities you have from other
You need to
people's
understand.
struggles.
Trust me. And with that, we're going to hit the third and final film of today, one I'm very excited to get into. We're going to talk about Queen and Slim, released on January the 31st, 2020, directed by Melina Matsoukas. We had Daniel Kaluuya as Slim, Jodie Turner-Smith as Queen, Bookham Woodbine as... We'll tell you why we're laughing in a sec. Bookham Woodbine as Uncle Earl and Sturgill Simpson as Officer Reed.
Wait, Uncle Earl. Yeah, his face is...
We're going to... we'll remind you in a second.
No, because I'm thinking of many things, but carry on.
A couple's first date takes an unexpected turn when a police officer pulls them over.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Hey!
I'm going to get this out there nice and quickly. I wasn't entertained. Kyle, were you entertained?
Yes.
Yes.
Amari, were you entertained? Giles, were you entertained?
Gonna see the nose
No,
over there.
I wasn't
I
entertained.
knew this was going to happen.
I wasn't entertained.
I can't even
This was
imagine.
going to happen.
I wasn't entertained.
We've got 24 minutes. We got 24 minutes.
I wasn't
to discuss
entertained.
this.
That's very interesting.
So who do you want to go
thought
first?
it was-
I tell you what,
hands down.
the conversation is going to be more interesting than the film.
Wow.
100%.
Wow.
100%.
Wow.
100%.
I'm
Who
shocked,
wants to
you know.
kick this off? Who
I
wants
thought
to
this was
kick
going to
this
be an easy
Four yes. I was only thinking automatically.
No.
I was thinking how high we're going to get on this grade.
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
I thought,
Shall I go?
You go.
Shall I
You
go?
first. Go on,
Wow.
Kate. Go on.
All right.
wow.
The one good thing about this film,
Wow.
yeah?
The
One good thing about this film was the tone that it was setting. The way it was filmed, the angles, the lighting, the tone was there.
A la Midsummer.
And that's about it.
Yep.
Now I want you, I actually want you to go first, because I want you to explain to me what the hell this film was about.
What the hell
this film was about.
Hold on.
Wait,
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
There was multiple themes.
Yeah. I'm happy for them. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. You go on a Tinder date. Yeah, you're a fucking not district attorney. You're a defense attorney. A defense attorney. Yeah,
But I still think that could have been a lie.
well, no, it wasn't, because she got the uncle off for killing the mum.
Yeah.
Okay,
So she
so
was a
actually
legit.
was.
She was a
That
legit
makes this even
defense
more
attorney.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it gave
So
depth.
then within this incident happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cop goes mad, which was actually my favorite part when he went mad.
1 second. Why did the cop react like that?
He's a racist prick. Carry on.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
it
get
does
that.
happen.
I
It
get
does
that.
happen.
No, I get that.
In America.
In America,
I get that.
He's the
That's
same.
what's going
He is
on.
Taff. He's Taff's son. Yeah, we're gonna call him
Tom Tate.
Tate Taff.
Yeah.
Taff, racist guy's son. Carry on.
Okay.
Taff sounds like he's Welsh.
Okay, well, he could be. Anyway, racist. Carry on. Let's go.
Right. So this situation happens, and then the cop, for no reason other than he's a racist prick, as you said, he shoots the girl. Yeah, he shoots the girl. Then there's a struggle. He gets shot, and their first thing is to run.
Yeah.
What?
What? That's not plausible.
What?
It's very plausible.
No.
Why not?
Hold
To
on a
go
sec,
on
hold
the
on a sec,
run.
Hold on a sec.
If you're,
Hold on a sec.
if you're in
on
a
the
situation,
run.
If you're not-
you might be scared. and
Hold on
run.
a sec. She's at the like. Do you know what? Do you know when that situation would have made sense if she wasn't a lawyer? She's a lawyer.
Nah.
So
because she was a lawyer, she was that she wouldn't be able to beat this case.
that's bullshit. But she fucking got a uncle off a murder charge.
Nah, it's not the same thing.
Oh, but she didn't even give it.
White cop being
bullshit.
shot
That's
by
bullshit.
a black man.
That's bullshit.
And your instincts,
bullshit.
you never know what you're going to do in that situation.
We literally just watched a real story of black man going from death row to his yard, albeit over 6 years, albeit over 30 years for O'Shea's character.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's not plausible. You've got to run?
Sorry, the other good...
I don't think that's unrealistic.
That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
You could get into a fight or you carry a knife, you stab a man and you run off.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I forgot to say the other good thing about this film was the soundtrack. So there was actually two good things about this film.
The soundtrack is wavy.
Question: Daniel Kaluuya's character. You've just gone on a date, yeah? Like you don't know this person, innit?
Yeah.
Like you haven't even had enough conversation with them to attain if you actually like them like that.
Not even held hands.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then obviously a madness happens, and you now decide to up and leave your family, your life, and go on a run with this person.
He's scared.
He's scared. Like he literally said,
Are you
he didn't
not-
even know what to do, and then she was like, "You know, we can't stay here."
Let's put it down.
He wanted to call his parent, like he wasn't in control to start with. That was the point.
She
His
ran the
character-
lead. She ran.
Yeah, she was running
She was
everything.
the queen. The queen ran the lead.
Excuse me.
What do you mean, excuse me?
When he shot the cop,
Yeah.
the cop's dead.
Yeah.
He could have left her. He doesn't know this person. He's just met her on Tinder.
Yeah.
You've just gone on some little 2-minute date in a diner. Now you've killed someone, and now you want to get in a car and drive away with this
jumping
person
in the whip,
who's
yeah.
telling him, no, we need to do this, we need to do that. Sorry, what? Can I ring my family? No, you can't ring your family. Okay, I won't ring my family. What?
It's dumb.
No, but
dumb.
no, it's not
Nah,
dumb.
nah,
No,
nah,
no,
nah,
no,
nah,
it's
nah,
not
nah,
dumb.
nah, nah.
The whole film was dumb.
It's
Nah,
not.
nah,
The
nah,
whole
nah,
point of
it's
not
not.
calling the family is so they didn't get traced. The
Traced.
fact he called the family.
Again, and that goes back to
Okay,
being a lawyer,
but hold on. So
understanding
the whole point of
tactics.
not calling the family was to get traced, but yet within hours they're traced.
within hours.
By the next day, they was all over the news.
Yeah, but
that's not based on their phone data.
That was just literally based.
That's not based on them tracking their
Well,
GPS.
I tell you what. She doesn't sound like she's a very good lawyer, and she sounds like she was a worse criminal.
Yeah, because she's not a criminal. She's not a criminal. She's not a criminal.
Oh, so why is she running then?
Yeah, that
Because
doesn't
you
make
was
sense.
That don't make
She already knew.
Why did people, normal citizens, riot? They're not criminals. The London riots happened. Lawyers were rioting.
For the
These
same-
things
what, in the film?
happened. No, not in the film. I'm talking about in the London riots that happened. People that had never committed a crime
said lawyers were
in their
rioting.
life. It's true though. But these things happen. These things happen.
You're a lawyer.
Lawyers are running into Argos.
Actually,
These
Carl,
things
lawyers
could
weren't
happen.
writing.
These things could
Lawyers weren't
happen.
writing in London because we don't have lawyers in London. We have solicitors.
Crying out loud.
We have
Lawyer
solicitors.
is a general term. It's a general
We don't
term.
have lawyers in London.
It's a
in
general
England.
term. It's a general term.
It's a US term.
Yeah, but we use it in this country as a general
You
term.
go and find me a lawyer. Go and find me a lawyer over
But
here.
people just use that.
Yeah, but I'm
If
just
you got
saying.
a lawyer.
But listen,
Anyway,
That's
but
semantics.
listen,
Anyway.
but listen.
I'm saying that situation, you
Semantics
don't know,
exist,
you
by the
don't
way.
know what you would do. You can't just completely write that
No,
off.
no,
you won't be
no,
doing that.
That can't be the reason why you're telling me the
film
whole
is rubbish.
film
Yeah,
is
'cause
rubbish.
That's the start of the film.
Trust me.
That's the start of the film.
This film, for me, it was it's storyline driven, yeah, because this happens in like the first 10 minutes of the film. So it outlays
5 minutes of the film,
It
bro.
outlays the route that this film is going in. Clearly, this is a film about them being on the run. That's it. Like, well, that's because even when I was watching it, I kept saying to myself, no, let me wait. Something else is going to happen. This is going to go somewhere. This is going to make sense. There's going to be an uncover.
It didn't.
No,
It's
like,
the
what
whole
was they
film.
watching?
It didn't.
I don't know.
The whole
I'm
film.
confused. I'm
All right, so
confused.
explain it to me. Explain why this
This
film.
was not a planned killing.
We know, we get that.
So why
Yeah.
are you saying, I need to understand where this
All
is.
right, let's
it's
get
just
past- let's
it's
get-
happening on the fly.
let's get
Things
past-
are happening
let's-
on the fly.
But it
Okay,
don't
so
make
explain
sense.
it.
It's you lot to get past. We're
No,
past
no,
it.
explain it. So, all right, let's get past the murder. Like,
Okay.
I'll just put that to
Yeah.
bed for 1 sec, even though it's
It's the plot.
staying up all night.
It's the
But
plot
anyway,
device.
So, all right, explain to me what else makes this film, however you felt about it. Like, I honestly don't understand.
Go on, man.
I actually enjoyed them finding out each other and learning about each other on the road, and actually their actual relationship developing whilst going through the journey. And it was key in seeing how different people in the community responded to them. So when they went to the bar for the official second date, it's smart because what have you been doing? Stressing out. Let's go to a place where I can de-stress and actually just be comfortable. Go to the bar, get some free drinks. Had his first drink. Did it make complete sense? You're under duress. What are you gonna do? You want a little rest and a break. And I can see you two both looking at me like I'm talking.
No.
crap.
I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah, but this is okay. But for me, I enjoyed them learning about each other. And then when they went to get the car fixed, I'm charging you full price anyway. What? Because you're on the run and you're black? No, I still want to get paid. No matrix around here.
And again, I just want to talk about that scene because that scene showed two things. It showed, one, they wanted to get a discount because they were black, which is how black people think about black businesses, that I'm a black business and help me out, give me a discount. I thought that's
it's
what
interesting
that
you
scene
bring
was
that up
saying.
because I feel like we're
Yeah.
supposed to like this film because we're black.
Yeah, agreed.
I feel like we're supposed to automatically, because it's. I don't know if is the director black.
I'll find out.
Okay, so automatically because the main cast is predominantly black,
Yeah.
and it's a black film.
Yeah.
We're automatically as black people supposed to like it. This
No.
was shit. This
No,
was
it wasn't.
shit. This was shit. I'm sorry. This was shit.
Wow.
This
I
was
like
shit.
the themes of the film. I like the themes.
I was like, I was.
Let's talk about. Yes, she is black, by the way. Or she looks like she might be mixed.
Well, Lena Waif wrote the script for
Is she black?
She's black, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So yeah, let's talk about. Yeah,
They might as well have brought Tyler Perry in
Afro-Cuban
this.
and Afro-Jamaican, so she's mixed. Let's talk about the themes. Okay, I get it. It's the whole, and it's funny because watching this after watching Just Mercy resonated even more. Like the themes resonated. The racism theme, as we'll go with. So okay, cool, I get it. This is going on in America. It's a hot topic at the moment. Police brutality, all that kind of stuff. Cool. This is a way or a sort of medium to look at it from a sort of alternative but yet still very relative viewpoint. I get that as well. I get that they've killed this cop. The video has been now put online. It's gone viral. We can all see that it wasn't deliberate. They're now being hailed as freedom fighters almost.
They're
Now
superheroes.
people are rioting. Kids are shooting cops in the face because they're influenced by what they've... I get it. But it was too outlandish. This was just... It was just too ridiculous.
yeah.
But I think what was ridiculous about it?
I didn't like the cop killing the boy shooting the cop.
Why didn't you like that?
That was ridiculous.
Why didn't you like it?
Because that came out of nowhere. Like he met them.
No, that came out of the fact that he'd seen the
but
video.
that
He
doesn't
then met
make
them,
him
and now
a killer. That doesn't make you a killer. So I didn't see the influence that much for you to now.
No, neither did I.
bring out a gun.
It was stupid.
So
It was stupid.
I did not
But
like
fit in
that-
with the rest of the
that scene.
film.
No, that scene was the only thing that I thought, and the only other issues with the film is that some moments it felt like the police were on their tail, and then some moments it was very casual.
Oh, and even when the police,
That's why I
just
didn't
because
like-
he happened to be black, caught them,
Yeah.
just still let them go.
Let them go, which could happen again.
You're telling me that couldn't happen?
That could
Because
happen.
remember,
Because his position might be that
I'm a police officer and I'm black. I don't know which one I am more. And he was just getting he
Yeah,
was just
because
basically
her
getting-
position was because I'm a defense lawyer and I'm gonna run.
Look, it was disjointed.
dumb.
I'm very.
It's
It was
dumb.
disjointed.
It's dumb.
You know,
and I
it's
can
dumb.
see why. I get why you like this. I get it.
I don't think you do.
I know I get it.
I don't think you do.
I get it. No, because I've read reviews, I've watched the film, and I can see the appeal. I can see how
Yeah.
it's different. I'll give it that. This is a hot topic, but they've used almost fables. Bonnie and Clyde. I keep seeing that getting thrown around online describing this film.
Thelma and Louise.
So yeah, I get it. It's a modern story with an old twist. I get that. It looks great. Like the film, some of the shots, you've got the camera like when they're driving, some of the drives are picturesque. Some of the angles, you've got the camera outside, you've got the camera. Lovely. But the reality is, in a nutshell, they commit a murder, they decide to randomly go on a run, fall in love with each other, and get shot at the end. But not in a way that makes any sense.
To you?
To me. No, this is all my opinion.
No, but you're saying but it makes sense. Like,
I don't understand why you're saying
you can make anything make sense. Anyone can make anything make sense.
What
you can.
doesn't make sense?
The story don't make sense.
No, look.
All right, you don't like the fact that you kill someone and go on a run, yeah? But after that, what are you saying doesn't make sense?
How did he handle the pressure? How did Daniel Kaluuya? And I keep asking about him because he seems more sane out of the two of them. She seemed a bit. Well, she's warped anyway because her mum got pushed down the stairs and died. So we know that she's a bit.
Okay, so he
seems very level.
So you're saying you.
And for me, it's a bit odd for someone who's very leveled, who seems quite sensible almost. Look, what you said he has, because I didn't even pick up on the fact he hadn't drank. He seems like a very average Joe, yeah?
Yeah, he was quite chill.
To then suddenly be acting in a way that is just so far removed from what his perceived normality
how was he acting?
Because the only thing you do...
How was he? Wait,
she said,
I want to know
let's
how
run. He was like, let's go.
We're
saying past that moment.
But even
how was he acting that way?
You've just killed a policeman, but you've got time.
That moment is key because he wasn't acting... Because if he was acting his normal way, he probably would not have run. He probably would have said it was self-defense because of this, and this. But he wasn't... He didn't... At that moment, he had... lost control, and then she took control, and she said, "Let's go."
Yeah, but even after that, when it sits, are you telling? I guess in effect, what I'm asking is, I have to kind of take what the film's giving me, and the film is giving me an impression that he doesn't really know this girl. They've only gone on one date. They've met on Tinder. Is that enough to go to basically become a fugitive, to abandon your life? Because you don't bring love into this. Don't bring love into this.
This has got nothing to do with love. This is. I look at it from the viewpoint that if I committed a crime and I'm scared, I run
until you die.
Well, he didn't know he was going to die. They were trying to get to Cuba.
No, but that has to be something you're thinking about.
It's either I don't want to go to jail for 25 years, so I'm on the run.
Bro, even when
that's what it is.
Let's talk
if
about
I kill someone,
I'm
going to try and get away.
The petrol station.
That's fact. Yeah. That's fact. I'm not handing myself in if I kill a Fed. I'm trying to get out of the country. I'll tell you that now.
Hey, if you come to me,
if you man are trying to hand yourself in, that's your decision. But I'm saying I'm going on the run.
But then even when he saw the video of the incident, he could have. Hang on, it's filmed.
Nah, I'm still going on the run.
I'm taking my chances.
True.
I'm taking my chances. I'm taking my chances.
True.
I'm
that
not taking my chances,
But
particularly.
there was no logic to this film, bro.
I didn't even think that makes logical sense.
No, that's the way. No, but you can't. That's the way you think. I'm telling you, I think in this. So you can't say this is ridiculous because I would think the exact same thing.
It's a good job you're happily married.
Would you think? I don't know how you would
think. He ain't got no Tinder dates.
I'm not handing myself in. I'm telling you that now. I'm on the run. I'm trying to get to Ghana or somewhere. I'm not staying in this country. And again, people do this.
No,
there's people that have been caught back home in Nigeria where they've ran away from England.
No, I hear that.
So
I hear that.
You can't say
and on their way to running, they've gone to bars and had second dates.
No. No, there's certain scenes, but you can't say it's dumb for the premise that
from the beginning it was dumb.
You can't say that's dumb because people do that.
Okay, all right.
And that premise is not dumb.
I appreciate that.
You can't say it doesn't make sense.
No,
it don't make sense.
I appreciate that.
It does.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And no, I get both sides of this because, like, with everything, there are some people that wouldn't even think for a second of. But what is ridiculous about it then is even if that is your choice, the manner in which he's doing this, because it's all for her. It's all for this girl.
I just can't get over the fact that
why is it all for her? Yeah. Why do you come to that conclusion?
Because she led it. Running.
She led the show.
Yeah,
she is all for her.
So he
had no saying anything.
No, she initially took control of the situation, and he went along with it.
But he wasn't working.
The whole thing, them being on a run, wasn't all for her. I didn't get that.
Well, she was the driving force behind it.
Yeah, she was the driving force.
And again, I keep on coming. Do you know what? I could have accepted this film a lot more if she wasn't a lawyer. The fact that they chose her to be a lawyer, her character was a lawyer, okay? Bruv, like, and a defense lawyer as well.
Yeah.
This is right up her street. So
she knows she's going to jail. That's why
But then she's not. But then it goes back. Then that's why I stand by my statement. She must have been a shit fucking defense lawyer.
No,
and,
she
and she
just
was a
might
worse
know-
criminal.
she might just
'Cause
know case
ultimately,
history.
ultimately, all they went on was what? This 6-day journey to nowhere just to get gunned down by
They
the
were trying
feds.
to get to Cuba.
But they didn't.
Again,
Again,
if I commit
so you're telling me, like, this is why it's dumb to me, because you're telling me she put more faith in this random plan that hadn't even been thought out yet, because like you said, everything just happened in the spur of the moment. So this random plan that had no kind of, there was no plan. There was no plan.
Yeah,
It
there was
kind
no
of
plan,
evolved
yeah.
after
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
More than the thing that she's her profession. She put this randomness above her profession.
Yeah, because she didn't want to go to
and I'm
jail.
supposed to buy into this?
Yeah.
She didn't want to go to jail.
Yeah, and
For
also-
life.
But
She didn't want to go to
But
jail
you're
for
literally
life.
also
Nah,
thinking
nah,
that
nah,
she
nah.
can't. She might not even have the normal thinking process that she will
And
process that she
again,
go through.
but again,
Because
Amari,
she's-
again.
but her being in the situation actually confuses
never
her
know
normal
what you
behavior.
could-
But again,
actions.
But
And
forget
this-
that. But
and this is-
she knows as a defense attorney she could be in jail 25 to life. So she's thinking
She'd be alive
I'll rather go on a run.
and die.
No,
but
but
she
she-
doesn't know she's gonna get. She doesn't know.
But she doesn't know she's going to go to jail.
Yeah,
she
but
doesn't
she-
know.
she
But again, it's
definitely-
the same. It's the
because
same variable.
she's going to jail.
It's still
in
unknown.
her mind. She could think the chances of me beating this case are zero. I'll rather get out of the country, and
And
that's a very plausible thought. I
another
don't
thing-
see why
yeah,
it's
but
not.
But it's also equally plausible to say, oh, by the way,
but the point
this
is
my
that
this is my profession.
If she
Oh,
took
wait,
that
okay, wait.
decision, I'm not going to say she's dumb.
And by the way, she got her uncle off of a murder charge as well.
But I'm
so
saying
it's not even like she doesn't have.
left in the highway or right in the highway. If she decided to hand herself in, I'm not saying, you're
Right.
dumb.
Yeah.
Why did you hand
It's
yourself
dumb.
in? If you go on a run, I get it as well. I'm not going to say you're dumb.
She went on a
'cause-
run for the basis of the
because
film.
I
No.
see it as an equal
Well,
decision.
there's the other thing you was talking about, the death penalty. They would have got the death penalty. Let's not say they was gonna go to jail for like they was gonna die.
And they
anyway.
got the death penalty.
Right, yeah, but they got it was
And
on
they
their,
got
on
and they
their,
got more, well.
on their
You
terms.
say
They got the death penalty.
you say death penalty, but that's not guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not
It's
guaranteed.
not guaranteed.
You telling me killing a cop,
Listen.
or being an accomplice to killing a cop.
Remember,
And that's the
remember.
point. She's a defense attorney, so
But
she knows
remember,
case
like I said,
history. She knows
the
case
reality
law.
the reality is. Let me just load up the bomb for this.
She knows
We've
case
been
law.
giving this too much time. The reality is
Way too
the
much
reality
time.
is
I thought this was going to be
the reality.
easy.
The reality
That's
is
mad. That's
a
mad.
white cop has shot an unarmed black woman. So if they go to court,
Yeah,
and that is what they're going off,
yeah. Because that's what the whole world saw.
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
they saw the cop die. Yes, they did see.
Yeah.
But what did they see first?
But what do you think?
No,
People,
hold on
what
a
do you
second.
think people
To be
are gonna
fair,
remember?
to be fair,
What do you think people will care
To be
about
fair, and
more?
I've just remembered because she goes for a pocket, so he would have said, "Oh, I thought she had something," but it would have later come out, and I've watched too many of these documentaries that she was unarmed. So
Would it have come out?
Would it even been a matter?
Exactly.
You-
Some of these things.
well, let's look
Okay.
at that. Let's look at that.
We've just watched. You keep saying we've just watched Just Mercy.
Yeah.
This shit happens.
No, it does.
This
No,
was 1992. Just Mercy. You said.
No, it does. It
So this
does.
could
So
happen.
really and truly,
This
so
could
really
happen.
and truly, Jamie Foxx's character should have done a runner from early doors.
I wouldn't blame him if he did.
He really,
I wouldn't blame him if
and
he
yet
did.
he didn't.
he really wanted to. What
Look,
kind of?
look, anyway, all right. Let's get past the
Because he hadn't even done anything.
let's get past the murder. I mean,
I can't.
all right. What else? I mean, for me, look. You know what? I might as well just tap this and then we'll just wrap it all up. Okay, I just.
Give it a 10-minute review, basically. My God.
I was, by the look of this film, by the people in it, because obviously we don't watch trailers, so I was just intrigued. I thought Daniel Kaluuya, I'm always going to sign up for anything he's attached to. Didn't have a clue where this film was going. Loved the look and feel of it, and I was very intrigued, extremely intrigued to see what would happen. And for me, this was just, what did I even write down? It was disappointing. I was drawn in, like I said, with intrigue due to the early dialogue as well. Loved the grainy, raw feel, so I was very interested. But quite soon, for me, it became very apparent what style that Melina Matsoukas was going for, and it was just too random and incohesive. I didn't connect with the message it was trying to portray, with race, with class, all of that stuff. It was an interesting way to tell a story about the racial divide in America, but personally, I think it missed the mark completely. What else can I say about it? It had the meat to be a good film, but not the potatoes, and certainly no dressing for me. Just completely over my head. For a film like that, for me to resonate, it'd have to make more sense. I'd have to be bought into these characters more, and I'd have to care about their stories, and their stories would have to but they'd have to be cohesive for me to understand, okay, cool, this is the direction we're going in. But this was literally just, I was waiting for the next random thing to happen, or another sort of black character or something that's going on in today's world to pop up and somehow make itself present in the film. One thing that was interesting, talking about Just Mercy, the area that it was in was Monroe County or something, and I noticed right at the end when they get shot, I don't know if this was just absolute coincidence, but the police cars had Monroe County on them as well. So I thought that was quite interesting. But yeah, wasn't entertained. This is one of the most boring films I've seen in a while. So yeah, it's 1 star from me, man.
1 star,
1 star,
man.
And I know Charles is gonna follow it.
It is. You already know. You already know. It's a 1 star. Like I said,
I might have to put up my rating.
If you don't know savage ones there already.
like I said, for me, you say get over the murder, but the murder makes the film. Like if the murder didn't happen, then you know they wouldn't have gone on the run. And I just don't get why that was her first choice. I just don't get it. And she stuck with it.
Okay, would you prefer if she was a criminal and then they went on that mini?
I said that. The fact they could have given her. It's almost like thinking about it now. It's like, yeah, if you're a black female lawyer, you're stupid because you ain't got no sense. Because the moment you get an opportunity to use.
Oh no!
But it's true though. It's true. And even but you know what? Even buying into Kyle's route of, you know, she's happened, she's just scared, she wants to run off. Cool, but it just didn't.
It didn't make sense.
She didn't sell it. She didn't sell it. Even if that was what her character was, she didn't sell it. She didn't sell it with the dialogue. She certainly didn't sell it with when she got to her uncle's house. We didn't even get onto that situation. No. And it was just too random. Why would a normal guy who's just met this person, unfortunately something's occurred, you've now decided to up and everything and go on the run and go to Cuba with this person that you now happen to start. Like, the film was like, the film was long. Headache, the film was a long film. It was like two plus hours.
Not even that long.
2 hours.
It's 2+ hours.
Two and a bit. It was 2 and a bit hours. It was about 2:10.
No, it was
about 2 hours 10.
I literally watched the runtime because it
was about 2:10.
No, it was
anyway,
2 hours.
It was about 2:10.
2 hours.
If you'd have given me less, I mean, like I said, it was beautifully shot, but then so was Midsummer.
So, yeah, but Midsummer was great as well. So carry on.
But we don't all agree with that.
Yeah, but my law is on Midsummer.
And there's a theme emerging. But anyway, yeah.
If you'd have given me less,
if you'd have given me less of those beautifully shot scenes and more kind of.
No, don't get rid of them. Just give me more plausible story.
But again,
give me more character development. Give me more believable stuff.
Even if you'd set up the like pre-Tinder date, you know, what? Because he might have been. We don't know. He might have been at a state in his life where actually the running away was the only thing for him to do. I could have bought it more. But the fact that wasn't, like, again, she might have been this down on her luck thing that actually had no faith in the whole judicial system and all the rest of it. I could have been like, yeah, okay, I get why. I just did not get it. I just did not get why that was what she did. And again, yes, it was, you know, they threw away the phones, they went to stay untraceable, but then the whole world knew who you were and you just carried on running. Everyone saw the tape. Yes, that's your job. That's your job is to give people their day in court. And when it was your turn to have your day in court, you ran. That don't make no sense to me. 1 star. Next. Queen and Slim. Queen and Slim. Huh?
Boring and slow.
Huh?
Sleep time.
The thing is, you could have called it Dumb and Dumber, but we've had a film called Dumb and Dumber.
Wow. Serious?
Yeah, seriously.
You're taking it too far.
No. And like I said, I'm not gonna be like, it's a black film, so it's no. No
one here said
no.
that.
But again,
no, but that's what
from people that I've spoken to, and from what I've heard. Because again, I heard about this film because it was out in America last year.
Yeah.
So I heard about it. That's literally after we just come back. I heard about it, and the sounds that were coming out was like, yeah, this is gonna be bad. I was looking forward to this. I was thoroughly disappointed.
When I saw the theme, I just saw Bonnie and Clyde. That's what I kept hearing. So I thought, ooh,
yeah,
I like the sound of that. Then I see Daniel Kaluuya. I think, oh,
yeah,
okay, this is gonna be serious.
I wanted to like this. I wanted it to be good.
It was good.
Missed the mark completely. Anyway, 1 star, 1 star. Amari, your rating?
I can't lie. So I can't give it 5.
We know it ain't 5. Don't even try it. Don't even try it.
No, if it's a 5, it's a 5.
No.
If
It's a 5 through my head right now.
it's a 5, it's a 5.
Don't even try it.
It's a 4. The 4-star
Explain why it's a 4. Go on.
Well, I found the film thoroughly enjoyable. The tone, the soundtrack, the way it was shot. I liked their relationship development. You might not like the character development, fair enough, but their relationship development. Any scene with the uncle was fucking hilarious, even though it wasn't supposed to be funny. Like, you're trying to tell me, and then no, the best scene, so we didn't even do favourite scenes, but one of my favourite scenes,
It's
right?
true. No, you're right. No.
You two didn't want to do it because it was no.
That's the rule. No, the rule is you have to pick one. No, the rule is you have to pick one. I just
didn't
forgot.
want to pick one.
I just forgot.
You were so blindsided by your hate for the film, you didn't want it to pick one. So don't worry. But my favourite scene was the conversation between the dad when the dad got hit and he kept on calling his son a little bitch.
Yes, that was my favourite scene.
That wasn't, and then it was like, "Go call my mum a bitch." No, it's called, that's my bitch. He's like, no, I'm not talking. Don't call about my mum. I'm not talking about your mum. And I was like, man, is this how he's doing? He's got it like that. And it was like, don't worry, I got you, brother. And he did the black fist power, and I was like, oh.
But
Yeah,
even that scene, it was funny. But again, I was looking at the intricacies of that scene. And it was when he got hit, and his son was concerned. It was like, why are you acting like a little bitch? And I took that as, again, as black men, we tell our sons or don't show emotion. You have to be strong. I looked at that as that. So then I looked at things much more deeply than you did. Those small little interactions, I've got a whole list. We didn't get into them, but I looked at them in a completely different light. I was looking at
into
things
them in your wrap up.
that.
What was your star rating, Amari?
4.
4 stars. Cool.
4. I'm gonna give it 3.
Interesting. I thought he was going to give it 4.
No, but because you lot were being so negative, that's why I was trying to point out. That's why I'm trying to point out the positives. But there were some negatives, which again I didn't like the scene with the boy killing the cop. I thought that was a bit silly. Again, I felt like the film wasn't necessarily focused. It was a thriller, but then it kind of went into a drama. That they were on the run, they were being chased. There was a bit of tension, but then that kind of just disappeared. So I don't think it was consistent from that sense. But the thing I did like about it was all the small little different themes. Again, the scene in the garage about black people wanting a discount because it's a black business, but then also you feeling like the black man is trying to F you over because he knows your circumstance. I like that scene. Again, I like the scene that Amari was talking about when he's like, why are you acting like a bitch? And he's telling her, you talk to her like I talk to my bitch, but he's talking about his side bitch. There was all these little things that were going on in the film that I particularly liked, that I thought was saying a lot about our culture. Even the guy in the gas station, when he just wanted to hold the gun, the whole gun culture in America, he wanted to hold the gun. It's like, oh, what is that? He was getting excited about the thought of holding a gun. And again, that's kind of how American society is. So I was looking at all of those things. It wasn't just black, that was about gun culture. And I like the fact that, again, some of them saw them as heroes and honourable and others didn't. But there were a lot of different conversations to be had. And that's why I gave it 3 stars.
Fair enough.
How much of this gun culture did you see in the week that you spent out there?
Yeah, but I can't compare it to that. Because if we look at the facts, we look at,
They don't want to give up their guns.
No, I know, I get that. No, they have the right to bear arms.
Yeah. But I mean...
I'm just saying, as somebody who spent as much time as I have over there over the years, okay, maybe this film's kind of centered in a particular area, but the areas that I've been in, do I see that gun culture? Probably see it more over here, to be fair.
I've seen many documentaries. I've seen Piers Morgan.
Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's almost like and I'm not trying to fucking sit up here with my mag hat or anything. I'm just saying, like, when people say that gun culture, at what point when you was out there did you feel unsafe?
No, I didn't at all.
Not about unsafe, but people like to have guns
just
for no reason.
Yeah.
You look at what happened in,
but no more than they do here.
Look at what happened in New Zealand.
Just hold them illegally.
Look at the travesty that happened in New Zealand. The next day, she was like, guns gone.
Banned.
America,
they'll never
arguing for it. And
again,
there's no real reason. So when I say gun culture, not necessarily that I would feel scared if I go to America, but they really feel the need that they need to have guns for some reason.
The intricacies and stuff that you've tapped on, I to be honest, some of them went over my head. Like the car park scene with the guy didn't resonate. The gun thing, I got that because he was like a weedy white boy, and then Daniel Kaluuya's gone in there. He showed him the strap, like so he's kind of even him, like he's kind of gone from again being squeaky clean to just suddenly, all right, I'm on this, so now I'm going to embrace it.
The guy said, you don't look like a killer.
Like,
he didn't look,
out.
So that's what I'm saying.
There was no confidence about his maneuver or anything like that. So that's why I was
that's why I like that scene, because he wasn't acting
it was an honest portrayal of his character, or the straight-laced version that you lot see.
No, yeah, some of them I got, but yeah, it just, as a whole, it wasn't enough. I can't look at the details if the whole thing is like, put it like this, if I love using food analogies, but if someone makes you a pizza, you're not going to think of, oh, was the dough nice? Or was that mushroom in date? That tomato was a bit too sweet. You're just going to take it for what it is. And that's how I felt about the film. There were parts which I was like, this is good, or I get that, but
I feel like you and Charles wrote the film off as soon as they went on a run. It was over from that point.
No, I didn't. I wrote it off after an hour. Because I thought, let me give this enough time to see where this is going, and I didn't feel it was going anywhere strongly enough for me
if the first 10 minutes of the film don't make any sense to me, what, like...
But I can't buy into that, because there's films like Inception, there's films that in early on, like The Turn,
you can't compare Inception to
No,
this.
it's not the film I'm comparing the ideology behind it, because you're saying in 10 minutes you were like, nah, it's done.
Because the 10 minute, the plot device happened in the first 10 minutes.
But were you not intrigued to see what would happen after?
No, because their whole just the way they fled the scene, I was like, what?
And to be fair, if it had made more sense later, then you would have understood.
Exactly. And this is it. Just like I said, it goes back to, if they change the fact that she's not a lawyer, then yeah, okay, I'm slightly more invested. If they kind of give them a bit more of a backstory than just letting them just meet in a diner randomly on a first Tinder date, I'd probably been more invested. But like, they've just met. They've literally just met. They've met. They had the boring. It was a boring date. It wasn't even a great date. So there was no chemistry whatsoever. Like she was in the car on her phone, and the reason why they got stopped was because he grabbed the phone and swerved the car. And now all of a sudden they're in cahoots after murdering something, and they're going to run. Come on, man. I'm sorry.
Nah, listen.
Yeah.
It's a divisive one tonight, but collectively, we're going to give Queen and Slim a TMRG star rating of 2 stars.
Fairest rating I've ever heard.
And we're going out like that. We're going out like that. Nah, it was. I was disappointed. Very disappointed. I was expecting a lot more from him.
I wanted more from him.
And you want to talk about Michael B Jordan playing the same role?
Oh,
I think we need to start looking at Daniel Kaluuya the same way.
But you know, one of his recent interviews, he's literally said, "I'm kind of tired of talking about race." Because he said, I'm tired of talking about race. Not because there's not racial issues, but I'm just more than being a black man, I'm also me.
Wow.
I don't know if that's don't say that's word for word, but that's basically, and I understood everything he's saying, but he's getting typecast in those roles, right? Well, he's allowing himself to be typecast. So.
Well, I hope that his next few offerings are, give me some depth, give me some other subject matters, because it's this. Not that his performance was bad.
Who is it? He's in. I know that. He's in Sicario, but what characters is he playing in Sicario?
Have to go back and have a look.
He is, so there's Blunt, and Blunt's number 2. He's basically Blunt's number 2. Oh. But he was too green to drain, the trip.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And he's in that awful film Widows as well.
I like that film.
It was awful. Listen, Widows was another one. It started off great.
I really enjoyed Widows.
It started off great, and then it just went.
I'll give that 4.
It went flaccid.
That was 4 stars.
It went flaccid. 4 stars.
I thought that was a really good film.
No.
Really good film.
And that concludes episode 12 of Those Movie Review Guys. Join us for episode 13, where we will be reviewing Uncut Gems and Richard Jewell. Do remember to subscribe across all major streaming platforms. You can find us under Those Movie Review Guys, and get in touch and share across all social media, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, all under @TMRG Podcast. Those Movie Review Guys. We out.